And we're live.
Hello, everybody. I have no idea what accent that was supposed to be.
Live from 3 different locations. No.
Live from 3 different locations. It's NTR Radio.
Does not feature Alec Baldwin, by the way. Okay, so all right.
Who would we even have if we had like a live like telethon or something?
A telethon, like raising money for somebody.
This is 1919.
We're gonna raise money for bubonic plague victims.
Stars.
We need
raise money for bubonic plague victims.
We're gonna raise money for we're gonna raise money for idols.
Polio vaccines.
We're gonna raise money for.
Hey, if we're gonna do old school raising money, it might as well be for something that's.
Wait, guys, there was a story last week. I'm gonna put this. You know, if you ever see those Idolmaster dojins, let's just say where it ends in pregnancy. All right, the ones that end in pregnancy.
No, because I actually don't read them.
There's like a 12 trillion.
Well, let's just say it actually happened for real. Because there was a story about an 18-year-old idol who got pregnant by her manager.
And some annoying fanboys are stabbing their merchandise.
Oh, that's what some people was like, that they felt that Otaku felt betrayed and all that. And
yes, because they had a chance with this girl. Of course they did. Yes. And Anubis was with Madonna yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's better taste than that.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Only good Madonna was 80s Madonna.
No comment.
Okay. That link is out.
Music-wise, not I don't even care about personality. I just music-wise, that's all.
Alrighty now. So this podcast, we're gonna have some happy little green over here. Oh wait, that's Bob Ross.
Bob Ross podcast.
What would that be? Just like the sound of leaves floating around by a grave?
It'd be like an ASMR thing where the microphone just gets real up close.
No. It's like how when rappers sample. No. Check it out. When rappers use things to sample to make like beats and stuff, they're using like parts of his speech to punctuate something like that. Like a little happy green over here, a little azure blue.
It's
a little lowly pink.
Lowly pink.
A little Japanese businessman green.
Salaryman blue. Salaryman gray. No, it has to be gray.
I was just gonna say, wouldn't that be gray?
It has to be gray because it has to be like
drab.
Yeah.
Just like the drudgery of the office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gray.
Or you could say, or it could just be like a color basically to reflect liquor.
There you go.
That would be perfectly
after work amber.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna down this and then I'm gonna go in my morgue drawer. Seriously, I don't know how anybody could sleep in those things.
Oh, did you hear about Sneaky?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, he met someone at a con.
Okay, is this really necessary for on air?
Not particularly.
Okay.
Let's say
it's on Twitter, so like.
No, I already know.
It's
okay.
not necessary.
All right, I won't say.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah.
Yes. Sneaky in all his cirrhosis glory. Hopefully, he's still not down in the booze like that.
Oh well, that's what he said. Is like, I think this has made me stop drinking.
No. Well,
this particular moment.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, he's had relationships before. They didn't. I don't think they lasted very long, but
I wanted to ask him, but then I chickened out. I wanted to ask him, was there any smell?
Holy shit, dude. Really? Well, it's a con. There's always a smell.
Yeah, but when it's a certain someone.
It's talking a very specific kind of smell.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get it started.
Yeah. Let's
stop our Calvin Klein predictions here.
Oh, Anubis, anything like you got anything recent?
I got a hat.
Okay. Is it an anime hat?
Yeah, no, it is actually relevant.
No. That's not why it's funny though.
Making a stupid joke.
It's funny because in the chat a couple days ago, he was talking about over the last couple days, he's been talking about tracking this hat down.
Yeah, no.
And it's become kind of an on-running joke a bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Good.
Put the hat over the headphone ears here.
All right.
Okay.
I think we're all set in 3, 2. Wait a second.
Need some water. No. That looked more like lemonade, so. But my thing froze, so I can't quite tell.
Okay. In 3, 2. Happy New Year! I'm Tom Forrester Nubis.
I'm K-Odds.
And I'm VZ Mark II. Still Mark II. Still Mark II for the new year.
Yes, I believe technically this is our 6th year.
I haven't upgraded to Mark III yet. Indeed. Okay, I haven't upgraded to Mark.
Well, see, I just assume they're going to kill you off and become number 2.
Well, I'm gonna assume it's like Duke Nukem Forever, where it took so long the first time that they just started over, and then we're probably gonna have to start over again.
If you've ever had
and what really happens is it's gonna come out and it's gonna be so woefully underwhelming that we're just gonna go back to Mark II.
It's gonna be like how the Mark II Gundam looks kind of like the original Gundam, but then you get to like Mark III, Mark IV. By the time the Mark V looks completely utterly different.
What he's saying is he's gonna have feathers.
Yeah, no.
That's a Gundam Wing joke.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gundam Wing, I've got it.
Oh,
yeah.
Mission successful.
Which is funny because Hero actually usually says that.
So how many cups of coffee are you gonna need to stay awake for it?
See, I don't have the same problem with it you do.
Are you gonna need a notepad?
See, K-Gods is actually excited to see the most powerful weapon known to man get taken down by a toilet paper Zaku.
You're gonna need the Wikipedia open so that way you know what's going. And a notepad is like, okay, this thing's going on. Oh, okay, this character is important to this.
No.
Why would you ever need that? I don't need that for things like Ava.
Do you think that's important?
Yeah, but Ava, I know what's going on. Ava,
yeah,
I know what's going on.
The point is it's considered this big mind frag, but I don't actually see it that way.
No, I don't.
I don't know. In any case, no, it's not hard to follow. If you've read some of the books I've read, then no, it's not hard to follow.
I was gonna say people say the same thing about the end to Akira, but I don't think that's hard to follow. I think that's self-explanatory. Also,
yeah. According to who was it? Was it Susan Napier who said it was like an anus or something?
Well, that was the creator in the beginning.
Yeah. That's all I need to know about how the critics perceived it. It's like, oh, this is a Freudian anus thing, or.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, goody.
Did you get just the TV series and Endless Waltz, or just
the series for now?
All right.
I'll pick up Waltz eventually.
Yeah, we're not getting the angel feather wings, Wing Zero until later.
But that said,
the marvel of engineering.
I do have this like soft spot for a lot of the designs. And again, it was because it was that period in the late 90s, early 2000s, where, as I saw it, a sort of mini renaissance of robot stuff in the domestic marketplace.
Well, to be fair, this is straight dab in the middle of the 90s.
Yeah,
I know that. I know that.
I get you, VZ, but I'm just perplexed. But similarly to how I'm perplexed that you found Saikano boring when it's easily one of the most amazing anime to come out in the past 5 years. That you somehow don't find the most powerful weapon known to man, the most ever developed, getting taken down by.
It just didn't register in my brain watching that. I don't know.
It's the music too, dude.
Let me break this down. So
no. The best thing is he has a better weapon.
Yeah, So.
Hey, you want to use the high flight Ares?
Obvious
I use the ground unit.
Look. All I know is I just wanted to stab my ears with dipping pens. I'm
watching that anime too, by the way.
Whenever Relina Peacecraft said something.
To be fair,
to be fair, I do too, but I'm just wondering how you don't find okay.
No.
So here's the scenario.
Okay, here we go.
Very obvious. Char Aznavour gets offered the high performance air combat mobile suit,
also known
as
the Ares.
And it takes the welfare Zaku to go after the most powerful weapon known to mankind,
and shoots him down.
Which, by the way, is getting which, by the way, Anubis is getting a high grade kit.
Speaking of which, I saw one of the
Leo.
Yeah,
I actually.
You don't understand how pumped I am about this.
No.
The welfare Zaku's getting a high grade.
No. I found. I think it was a master grade that. I saw it in the bookstore today. They had one for. Providence.
Yeah. They do. They have that in like Barnes and Noble and such. Do you remember which one it was?
I just said the Providence from Seed. Yeah.
It's one of the in-game. I'm not gonna buy that, but the Leo is getting a high grade.
Well, here's what he's gonna do. He's gonna end up buying the Wing Zero and reenacting that.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a diorama. I'm gonna take a big shoe box.
It's just like
paint it like a sky, and just got the Wing Zero, and just make the Leo hug it, and just have one of those little 1/144 scale dudes with a
no, not only that, but you gotta have it to where it's it's funny.
I'm personally
have like the parachute in the background.
I'm pumped because they're doing the Reborn 100. The thing from hold on, I'll look up on the thing from F91 I was telling you about.
Well, while he's doing that,
whose name is just pretty much an anagram of
vagina or whatever it's called.
Yes, it's just an anagram of vagina.
Okay, well, on the other side of things, I picked up. I actually am reading A Kami Ga Kills manga now. I've seen the show, obviously, but the manga is different. It keeps going. It's a lot of people who like the manga actually didn't like what they did with the series.
Was the series was it the thing like originally in manga, or was it a light novel, or?
Oh no, it was originally a manga. Pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And at least early on, they followed it pretty religiously there. You could just look at it. It's like, okay, yeah, this is following it pretty closely, but I hear that changes fairly drastically.
Right. Well,
so I'm reading that. I watched a couple of things while I was absent because it's been a little while now.
It's been a while.
Actually, in my case, it really has. It's been almost a month. And anyway,
before you go into that, I'm going to tell people how to get in the IRC server. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to go to ntrradio.net, scroll down, hit the chat button. That'll bring you to a page with a box in it that you put your name in, and hit the button that'll bring you to the IRC channel. Alternatively, take your favorite IRC client, point it at irc.ryzen.net and enter the pound or hash SLC Media Channel. Us on Twitter at TNubis, at VZMK2, at NTR_radio. And as always, the email box is ntrradio@gmail.com.
What was it? Drawing Girl in the chat says you also got something else on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually got Zeta Gundam.
Yeah.
The whole thing, both parts.
Oh yeah. I had it on. I had it on DVD, but that was the one I definitely had to upgrade to the Blu-ray.
Yeah, if there was any of the old TV series to like get, I would say Zeta.
Well, I'm actually just all the ones I have. I'm just working on upgrading them. You know, but before that, I'm picking up the ones I didn't have.
Is that it, or can I?
No. I'm still talking here. That was a present from the girlfriend. Yeah. So moving on past that, I actually watched a couple of old shows that I hadn't seen in a really long time, and you ever have just like this weird kind of bug to watch something like there's no real reason. It's like sometimes it'll come out of nowhere. It's not even this type of stuff you would normally watch. It just like there's just something weird that just okay. So here's what it is. I actually went and I watched all of it. I watched all of Death Note.
Okay.
I don't know why I was interested in rewatching this. I just did. It was one of those things where I'm in the mood, and I ended up.
It's a fine series. I have no issue.
Yeah, it was incredibly mimetic. I mean.
Oh yeah, especially
holy shit! You still see them.
Yeah.
The light Yamage scream.
Just as
the
planned and just the like psychotic
like where his mouth is just like this like
yes, and of course then there's the I'll take this potato chip and eat it or the or the just as planned thing, of course.
Just as Kikaku.
Yeah, Kikaku means plan.
Yeah, TL note.
yes, that's pretty good there.
I do like was it the second opening? I think it was, or the ending. I forgot what it was, but I actually really like that.
Yeah, I could probably tell you if you would actually.
The one that has the cursing in it, but it didn't when it got subtitled, didn't use the cursing.
Oh, yeah. I can't say I remember actually lyrics.
It's the one that sounds very like rock, like.
Okay, yeah. Okay, probably the Maximum, the Hormone one.
I think that's it.
Yeah, most likely. In any case, though, when I was watching it, first off, this kind of ran concurrently with Code Geass.
Yeah,
right. And it was kind of competing with it in a way because that was a thing. People were either on Team Geass or Death Note there. Like John from Anime Nation was more of a Death Note guy. Did not really care for Code Geass, which I don't get it, but okay.
Yeah, but as far as I'm
Lelouch is more fun.
Yeah.
But he's also more ridiculous in a way.
Also, and I don't know
if that's possible.
I don't know if you'll agree with me on this, K-Gods, but like the entire final half of Death Note is basically Light Yagami fucks up the animated series.
Oh yeah. Oh, but I mean, it's nice looking. Of course it is. I mean, look who's behind it. But I mean, it's got a nice kind of atmosphere, and as an idea, it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see how, even though, like I said, I did enjoy it, but I could see like how if you're like, I want to say like middle school age and watch it, it's like the best. Besides the memes, the best thing about this was the fake Death Notes that got made afterwards.
Well, that caused the uproar.
Yeah, all the
school kids that like were bringing them to school and like freaking people out and shit, and basically a bunch of superstitious idiots like were banning them and whatnot. I don't know. I just found that pretty funny. Not as bad as when the Naruto guy like buried his head in the sand and died. Like kid,
Sandwiches.
like yeah, it's just like, well, it's. I mean, there's no excuse for that. That's just stupid behavior. I mean, like, oh, they're a kid. Yeah, but most kids aren't that dumb. Well, let's be honest. That's one of those things like, oh, I'm gonna be a ninja, and it's like, well, nobody saw you.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to comment because I don't want to, like, seem like I'm not sympathetic or anything, even though
I'm not. Sorry.
Now that's bothering. I'm trying.
I operate very much on that social Darwinist kind of thing.
Oh, that's the one. Yeah, you were right. Zetsubo Billy by Maximum the Hormone. That's it. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Sorry, I was right. It was the second ending. All right.
So besides that, I'm also watching. I didn't get too far because, well, there's been family emergencies and stuff. But one of the things I was watching is Irresponsible Captain Tyler.
Oh, I need to finish that series.
Which it's very entertaining. It's
sidetracked.
I never watched it, but I know of it.
It's very absurd. That's the best way I can explain it. The main character almost reminds me of Lupin the Third if he was a slacker. You know what I mean? I think Anubis knows what I mean by that.
The lazy edition.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, can't someone else do it? Yeah, exactly. Good times. Playing a little bit of video games here, reading some manga, trying to catch up on some stuff, and need to watch more stuff, of course. That's more recent, I suppose. And I've got some of that on the back burner. We'll see. I'll get to it eventually.
That's all? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. The weather around here is garbage, as expected.
Ditto.
It's terrible. Like, put it this way, it's like around 33 degrees now. Fahrenheit for those in Europe, by the way. Well, or basically anywhere not here, I guess. Anyway, but it's actually been closer to about 15 to 17 usually. So fun stuff, and snow, kind of rainy.
All right, so
it's good indoor weather.
Okay. Can I will show what I got.
Yeah, sure.
This actually came today.
Remember, this is audio based. Don't just hold it up.
First is something in the it's like, of course you were gonna get that, VZ. How would you not get that? Love Live Sunshine on Blu-ray.
Hey, lovely.
I know, Funimation.
I think.
Yeah, I actually shouldn't be very happy about that, but I'm happy for you that you have it.
And number 4 of Galco-chan manga.
Woot.
I still haven't read it. I have all of the volumes. I just I'm waiting for like a time when I don't have anything else to do.
Yeah,
and that's really the only manga I'm collecting right now.
Just kick your feet up and open up some manga. Make sure it's the right way.
Okay. Now I have
and just kick your shoes off, put your feet up, and read your tampon humor.
Yes. I will say the art is great because they made it the full color and all that.
Right. That's one of those things where if you're looking at a manga, the first couple pages usually is like it just sort of, and then it kind of seeps back into its typical black and white.
Yeah, but the whole thing is color, this one. So
yeah, I actually did know that. I've seen people posting screenshots of it.
All right, so first up, my cousin got me a Transformer that I wanted. Nothing too expensive. I hope he didn't overpay for it. But it's like in the $9 category to make you, well, a pretty decent little, representation of kickback, right? But then I noticed the back here.
Uh-oh.
I noticed the back here.
Does it have a penis?
This is straight. This
and
is
the other
bent.
side's gay. Oh.
This side is bent, and it's not like the plastic. It's not like there's a stretch mark or anything. It just got molded like that. Now, luckily, there's ball joints that I could align it to look
right.
Like
Anubis is trying so hard not to start laughing.
But this is exactly what I'm talking about in the last show. With like the non-existent quality control.
Those ball joints, man.
And
well, they know people will fucking buy it anyway.
Of course.
This is the problem.
Well,
it's just like this The Last Jedi. I mean, they knew people were gonna see it. I mean,
what I was talking about, sort of what is it? Accepting mediocrity instead of wanting something a little better, which we actually do got good stuff. And the first stuff is from Furu, a figurine of Rize from the Order of Rabbit.
Where's the drop in?
Outstanding.
The only thing is there was a little like this part, the picture that she's holding of Milk, the handle part was like a little broken, but I glued it, so because it's a very thin piece. Otherwise, nice. And I got another Love Live Figma. This one is You. That's her name, You. YOU. That's her name, You.
Who's on first?
Oh no, not the Abbott Costello. Come on.
Who's on stage? Who? Who's on
the Who?
You
know the Who.
The name of the band. Who?
Actually, my favorite variant of that routine is from Spaceballs. Is when they're watching the movie when it's just like Spaceballs the movie, and then he stops it like in real time, and he's like waving and shit, and he's just looking around. He's like, "What the hell am I looking at?"
You. We're
at now. What happened to then? We missed it.
Just now. And finally, Nendoroid Kokowa.
Oh.
Yes. No Funko Pops?
No,
because I'm not going to accept mediocrity.
By the way, like there's one for pretty much everything in existence. Pretty much. Yeah. I think we've determined that. So why isn't there one of us?
Because we don't accept mediocrity.
Yeah, exactly. That's number. Would you sell the license to your likeness to Funko, especially now knowing that they had the worst IPO in the past 17 years?
So what I want to know is if we were like Nendoroids or Figma, what would be our accessories?
I know one accessory we could have. The hat.
That just tied.
Yeah.
It tied right in.
So
you want to explain that?
So this is a running joke. So for the people who can't see, I have the hat Asuka wore in Rebuild of Evangelion.
Yeah.
Because just a couple days ago in the Discord K-Gods runs, we had this extended discussion about Evangelion. And at one point, I just said, by the way, I need to get that hat.
Right. And it was funny because he was trying to track it down.
Because throughout this long, ongoing discussion, I was chiming
Still
in
looking.
Update.
Yeah.
The quest for this hat has now turned into a quest for who distributes this hat.
And then there were some jokes about
the quest for this hat has become the quest for the tracksuit jacket she also wears, which I didn't get, by the way.
You got
the
eye patch.
Yeah, you don't want to know where that discussion went, by the way. Let's just say it involved dojins and questionable things being inserted.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not going there.
Very Euphoria-like, yes.
Yeah, I got the hat.
So, yeah, you got the hat.
So we'll have that be my Nandroid accessory. Blatant blatant copyright infringement. If we made this Nendoroid, yeah, Studio Car is gonna be down on this. Like, what are you doing?
At least it's not a Funko Pop.
I actually wanted to talk about stuff I was watching.
Sure.
Yeah, you go ahead, because I watched it, except Girls Last Tour ended, and it's great, and everyone should watch it.
I have the same exact opinion, but for Blend S. To finish Blend S, my favorite show of not just this season, but of 2017.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know if I'll be able to do it right when it comes out, but I'm gonna have to buy that show down the line. It's that good. It's gonna be the Aniplex pricing. I'm gonna hate.
I've got a friend who was spamming my direct messages with pictures from Blend S. I'm guessing it has some fetish content that's tickling him specifically.
Any particular character? Because I can tell you just
maybe. I don't remember. He just kind of spammed him seemingly randomly. It's almost like he went to like Gelbaroo or somewhere and just went went download them all and then just unloaded them into my private messages. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it was.
Nah. I don't mind when people do that.
It's great,
unless they get a little too ridiculous with it.
It was extremely funny. One of the best things. Quite a long time. I also rewatched. So I watched the Blu-ray rips of 0080.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
The best Christmas anime.
Yeah.
Yes. No spoilers. There's people that haven't seen it.
Although, I would say it was although many of the new OVAs have been coming out have been really good, but it's still one of my favorite Gundam OVAs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, some of these new OVAs that are coming out are they really give run for their money. It's like I never thought I'd see stuff that I enjoy as much as stuff like 8th MS Team or 0080, but Origin and Thunderbolt are getting up there.
Yeah.
I gotta catch up with Origin if just to see Operation British.
VZ, have you watched episode 5 of Origin yet?
No, I haven't. I tried.
Okay.
The thing didn't. The subtitles didn't work. I'll find another thing.
Now I'm mad.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I will. Don't worry. I'll get to it.
I want to talk about this anime.
Yeah.
Oh, but since you've seen the original Gundam, you already know where it's going.
Listen, and no bones about it. Origin 5 has the best looking Operation British sequence ever. It's better than the one that they had in Unicorn. Better than the a little bit of Operation British you saw in Igloo. It's definitely better than the one you see at the beginning of 0079.
Yeah, well.
It's not hard to do. But
no.
Dude,
you know what you need to get to watching?
Anime.
Because you know what you need to get to watching one day? Because I don't think you still watched it. F91.
Don't get me wrong. I got plenty of Gundam still left to watch. F91 and Victory and Char's Counterattack.
I still need to get to Victory. The only AU that I want to watch, like fully of, that's two. There's two AUs that I want to one day fully watch. G and Turn A.
I still need to finish Turn A. Still need to finish Reconquista. I'm about done with Double O. There's no more of it that I want to watch.
Nah, I didn't care. I also don't care for. I also don't care to see IBO.
Then we can all gather and watch Age.
Yeah. I'm so disappointed in Age because its designs were amazing.
Well, what's weird about it is everybody seems to forgot that it was a thing.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that.
Oh no!
Good.
I know that, but it's.
To be fair, everyone also seems to have forgotten about Reconquista. So
that's true too.
They really tried to push Age as like this is the Gundam but for kids because they were pushed like they had like big, like the type that they used to do in like the 80s and 90s, like big toys.
Well, they created a whole new model kit grid.
Oh yeah, the 140
just for age. No, it's not even the. I'm talking.
Oh no,
the
I know the one with the chip
model kit. I have one of those. It's like 5 pieces. It doesn't move very well.
It's like one color, right? 1 or 2 colors.
1 or 2 colors. It's 5 pieces, and it has a little brick that you put in there that's supposed to interface with an arcade game.
Yes, but at least it's not a Mathis.
The saving grace of every Mobile Suit in Age is that it's not Methis.
Although that does bring to the question: a Methis is probably still better than G Savior.
Well,
I still need
that
to.
was bad enough they erased it.
I still want to see G Savior one day, just to like the bio fascination up.
I don't.
It's like watching Dragon Ball Evolution. It's one of those.
I know.
It's like this thing. Just
it came out. No. I got a better one. It happened, and we all let it happen.
How are we supposed to do? I was gonna say, how are we supposed to do anything about it?
Don't try and push this on me, VZ. I was playing Sega Saturn.
Peter Griffin quote.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay,
I know that. But
that happened, and we all let it.
Try and push this on me. I was in here playing video games. I didn't even know there was even going on. If I'd known, I would have stopped it, but I didn't know.
Well, was it all we know about Gundam and movies is that Gundam is going to show up in Ready Player One.
Well, yeah, like
in the trailer.
Well, here's the thing, like all of the proper media properties, the popular media properties from like the 80s are going to show up in that movie.
Yeah, 80s, 90s, and whatnot. Yeah.
Will the AIDS virus make a return?
It's basically references. It references the book and movie. Nerd references the book and movie.
Well, yeah.
To be fair, that's been kind of going on in popular culture anyway now. I mean, case in point, horrible, obnoxious shit that's been spurned on from the Big Bang Theory and things like that.
Yeah, well, it's for that audience.
I know. I hate it.
I've seen. Also, if you've seen the author,
I
think the most hipster.
I was gonna say, what does he look like? A neckbeard or something?
Yep. And I don't know if he owns it, but he certainly drives a DeLorean.
Okay. Okay, Doc Brown.
Yeah, of course, that's in the book.
How much that costs?
Yeah, it wasn't even a good car. That's the irony.
No, they're just really big Steven Spielberg fans.
It was a shitty car. It's just, I
don't know. Maybe they're LARPing as Doc Brown.
In 2009, the price of a refurbished DeLorean from DMC, Texas started at $57,500.
I don't know if they're going to show up in this particular movie, but in the book, because I unfortunately saw an excerpt, and like I can't stab my ears with dipping pans, but I can maybe stab my eyes with dipping pens, because that's what this read like. Well, first it didn't say Mazinger Z. It used the U.S. name that they used in the 80s for Transor Z.
Oh, okay.
And Brave Radine. I'm sure.
Dinobots.
Yeah, well, no, I'm sure like Voltron's probably referenced in that too.
Pray they don't try to reference Macross.
Oh no, I think they referenced Robotech too.
Oh.
I think they reference,
because that's that's what we really need right now is more
Harmony Gold bullshit.
Yeah, more stuff perpetuating this lie we were all told back in the 80s.
Yes. So going back to this DeLorean business for a second here. Yeah, first off, I don't know why anybody thought those looked cool. I'm sorry. I always thought they looked kind of stupid. Maybe okay as one of those micro machines or something like that works a little better.
Well, it looked like a car from the future, conceived in the 80s.
Yeah.
So it looks nothing like what we actually drive now. But
we should go back.
We would be driving now. When
no, it's like
based on an 80s design philosophy.
Marty, you got to go back and tell them about the Prius. About fucking hybrids and shit.
No,
smart cars, Google cars.
Find a way to refurbish a DeLorean, but to be like a Prius.
No.
Because we know
this sounds like a terrible idea.
That would be bad squared.
Because that way it would hit.
Quite frankly, I'd rather choke on the flux capacitor.
It would hit those people, the market. Quite, yeah. Yeah.
Pick up your DeLorean and get a free thing of orange juice.
No, I got a better one. Okay, since everything the whole replica market, or like how we have today, I don't know, like NES Mini and all that. Basically, the nostalgia market.
That they purposefully make scarce.
Not just that, but distinct from your childhood. We reissued it, or we made a replica version of it, or a small. Okay, so
old school John Deere tractors.
So they're gonna reissue the DeLorean.
Can they reissue Jobs?
Well, here's the thing: that might actually be a good business move.
Well, that's just my idea. I don't think they actually would do that, but I'm just saying. What you can see, some people, we're gonna reissue classic cars,
Yeah. So someone
that. I think that would have to work on they build it when you order it sort of thing.
Oh, build by demand.
Because because how many normal ass people are gonna
stupid idea.
Do a DeLorean?
This is just my stupid idea.
It's gonna be rich people who like dumb car designs gonna buy the reissued DeLorean.
Well, that's not as bad as I don't even think that's as bad as what my cousin did, which was buy out an old school bus and turn it basically into a party van.
See, that's cool.
No, it wasn't. It sounds like it, but it actually wasn't.
Cooler than buying a DeLorean.
Maybe.
You can actually do something with that.
But the thing you got to understand about my cousin is, while it's not really true anymore, but when he was a kid, he was Nelson Muntz from The Simpsons. I mean, not even an exaggeration. He's the kind of guy who would point and laugh if you fell out of a tree. Basically. But here's what he did. He decked it out, and he did the thing where he puts the fucking emergency megaphone that spins on top of the thing.
Yeah.
And I remember he came into my neighborhood in this fucking jalopy, yelling orders and stuff. It scared the fuck out of me because it's. I don't know if he was trying to sound like a SWAT team or what he was doing, but it was ridiculous.
Let me guess, the sides are all airbrushed art or something.
No, it still looked like a bus.
Oh.
Straight up a white bus.
Hey, you got to do something with it, man.
Yeah, I think he got lazy. I think he
go home.
I think he spent all of his excess money trying to get a big stereo thing going on and all these stupid peripherals.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
You can't neglect the visuals.
I don't know. Maybe he sold it to the people who make those Bang Bus videos.
Go big or go home. Speaking of going home, we got news.
Oh snap!
Let's news.
Working to restore power.
All right, let's hear this one.
Link is going out in the IRC. Amazon closes Anime Strike subscription streaming service.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
All right, now here's what
certainly. Come on, there's got to be some baseball metaphors. Come on,
Anime. They've all. Trust me, I've seen all of them. They're all on Twitter. And here's what we're gonna do. we're going to report this as it actually happened and not as how people are portraying it. Because there's a problem with me. See, a lot of the people who are saying, "Oh, Amazon shut down Anime Strike." No, they stopped the service and reintegrated all the anime into the regular Amazon Prime.
I was gonna say it's part of Prime now, ain't it?
Yeah, all the anime is part of Prime. So they're still in the anime game. They're just not doing it in a very specific manner. They basically did what everyone was whining that they should do for a year, and eliminated the double paywall. But now what we're portraying it is that they shut down their service. And let me just read this article. It was almost a year ago when Amazon first launched Anime Strike, a streaming service that was available for $4.99 a month on top of the existing Amazon Prime membership. The brief foray into an anime-focused Amazon channel was officially come to an end, though, and its curated catalog has been moved into Prime Video. Word of Anime Strike's closure comes from Lauren Orsini's report over at the Forbes blog, which includes confirmation from an Amazon spokesperson. Both Anime Strike and the Bollywood-centric sister channel Hira have both shuffled their content into Prime. Here's what they had to say about it. We have decided to move the curated catalogs of Anime Strike and Hira into Prime Video so that more customers can enjoy this content as part of their Prime membership. I just hopped over to Prime Video myself to confirm, and yep, shows like Rage Bahamut, Virgin Soul no longer have a strike banner. These shows if you have a Prime account.
So basically, more than it shutting down, they basically just restructured how they're doing things.
They rolled all of it into the regular Prime membership. And here's where I launch into something. A lot of people are doing this ding dong, the witch is dead sort of thing with Anime Strike. And I'm like, is that really necessary? Is that really when everyone, all these people's primary complaint about it was that, oh, I don't want to have to pay more for anime. That's my entire problem.
Basically, they felt like they were being nickeled and dimed.
Well, they felt like a lot of the arguments I heard was, I don't want to have to subscribe to a new service to watch different kinds of anime. Like they're complaining about something that when you get right down to it is actually more advantageous for the consumer, because now we have because going on, we're having multiple streaming services, each with their own exclusives, competing with each other, forcing each other to down. Well, it not only drives prices down, but it forces each service. Not only are they competing for the customer, but they're also competing for rights, for streaming rights from anime studios and production committees. So not only do we have both those dynamics going on, they're also competing from a features perspective. So if one service has better features and can better serve its customers, more customers will go to that service. That service will get more market share.
Right.
But the conceit was at the time, oh, I just don't want to pay for why can't all this stuff just be on Crunchyroll that I'm already subscribed to?
Because
not seeing how harmful a paradigm that would be if Crunchyroll just had all the anime.
Well, it's funny. It's funny they say that because these are the same people that bitch about monopolies.
Well, yeah, no. A lot of them don't know what a monopoly actually is, and a lot of them don't know how monopolies actually get caused. But that's besides the point.
And why
the
they're
point
bad.
is, a lot of people are doing this ding dong, the witch is dead sort of treatment, and that's really unnecessary. Chiefly because now we already lost Daisuke.
Yeah.
Now Anime Strike's gone. So what is left? Crunchyroll and High Dive. Are there any others?
No, I think
anime. No, I'm kidding.
Exactly.
or 9 anime.
So hey, look at what lack of competition has done for the console gaming market. Do we really want that to be in the anime streaming market? And I'm not saying this to try and make Anime Strike into a charity case. No, they legitimately had a subpar service compared to Crunchyroll. Well, insofar as, and I don't know about anywhere else, but Crunchyroll has been having some problems for me lately. But they legitimately had not a subpar service. They had significant problems getting the last couple episodes of up subbed. So maybe it's
I know another
lost, but
I know another one.
All right.
Funimation does streaming also.
Oh yeah, Funimation's doing this streaming.
Yeah, but we all know his feeling on Funimation.
It's not even my feeling on Funimation. They're partnered with Crunchyroll now,
right?
So it's basically the same service, just on a different platform.
Right.
True enough. Well, we should point out that Faku is now doing this as well.
Faku is now, well, we covered that a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, but they actually have put him up now.
Oh yes, Faku Video is now live for as far as the beta testing goes. They're also doing games now.
Yes, I actually fully expected them to do that.
Oh yeah,
I saw that coming pretty much a mile away. I mean, I didn't talk to him or anything, but it just seemed logically that would be a step to go.
Oh yeah, and with this, they're now back at the feature set they were at before they went legit.
Yeah, which is interesting.
The manga, doujin, anime, and games, and now they're also doing a whole lot more new content as well with that.
Needless to say, skateboards. It's like, there's this naked girl on this board that I'm gonna hang up in the no.
Oh yeah, the skateboard.
Although it would be interesting, I've never seen anybody with one. I'm kind of disappointed. I was always hoping I would just see somebody actually zooming around on one.
I want to know.
I barely see anyone.
I want to know the person that has
as it is
the lolly one. Who
I forgot that existed. To be honest,
Lolly's whose artist I forgot.
Is it the Hen Reader?
That's it. That's it. Yes, yep. That's it.
Just wait. Here comes the hoverboards.
Nope.
Hey, so somebody thought the DeLorean was a good idea to bring that, Can't you just see somebody trying to start one of these and it just like exploding and taking off a limb?
Yeah.
and then just ending up. I don't think that website's still there. I was going to jokingly say that they'll end up like on Rotten or Ogre-ish or whatever. Are those sites even still there?
I don't even. I
know they used to be gross out, hubs for like gore pics and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that was the what was the one? Ogrish or something? Was that?
I said that.
Yeah, that's one. Style Project was another one.
No, Style Project was more than just It was more than just gore. That there was a lot of fucked up things on Style Project. Unfortunately, I know because let's just say friends decided it would be funny to send me there. Yeah, about as fun as a root canal.
In any case, that brings us to the break.
Alrighty.
Right here on NTR Radio.
Wah, wah.
Now, the reason why I said Ogrish, because it sounded like you said ogre.com on the thing. So I was like, wait, did he mean?
I did. I stopped myself and then tried to correct it.
Right. All right. I'll be right back real fast on that.
He's writing something. Gotta set up my turntable here.
I play music, but the tablet is on its last legs as far as battery goes. And if I plug it into charge, it'll produce this high-pitched whine that I'm not sure shows up on the actual recording, but I'm not going to take my chances.
It's just picking up Otaku USA.
High-pitched whine.
It's weird because I actually still do see it every once in a while. Like I'll be like even in like the grocery store or something, and I'll see it like on the little magazine rack where they got all the mutants on the fitness that have these like giant freaking, looks like they have like DVT or something going on. But you know what I mean. It's got like the guns and ammo, fields and stream kind of stuff.
Yep.
And crossword puzzles and Cosmopolitan and other terrible ideas. So yeah, I see the one there every once in a while. It's like, right next to time. Probably should get that up, actually.
Yep.
It's a good call. All right. Note to self, switch this from white to black, gray, whatever it is. Less strenuous on the eyes. Okay. Interesting. This is 13 years old. That sounds weird, actually.
Okay.
VZ back.
Don't mind if you hear tapping in the background. It's something with the pipes. I need that to get looked at.
I don't hear it tapping at all.
Okay. Well, it comes and goes. It's bothering.
Just like the Karma chameleon. Hey, we were talking about 80s crap.
Yeah, do yourself a favor later if you want. Look up the author for Ready Player One.
I think I'm good. I mean, I already saw the synopsis for Kazam earlier. I mean, do I really need to torment myself anymore?
Which, by the way, I thought the whole Bernstein thing was a joke until I encountered the Kazam Shazam thing.
No. Because it's funny you did that because I wasn't sure that if I was getting it wrong or you were. So I know exactly what you're talking about. Because it's like, wait a minute, is that right? I actually had to look. No, it's totally. I think they call it the Nelson Mandela effect.
Yes.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about because when you said that, I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Shazam, and people confused it. No, because then I'm like, fine, I'll look it up. Then I see, Shaquille O'Neal just kind of like doing the genie thing and saying, nope, that's that terrible thing. By the way, this all spawned from people talking about Space Jam.
Yeah.
Yep. Space Jam is my shit. Listen.
I prefer Akiko's Jam. Inside joke.
Okay. I think we're all set. Make sure we all have the article up.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, let me go to...
Where did you get this from, anyway?
So I was looking up otaku on Wikipedia, and this was one of the references.
Oh, okay. I was wondering if you were like in Google Scholar or something.
You should put it in the chat anyway.
Yeah, that'll happen as soon as we start up this next segment.
Right. So
yeah, which I found the thing on Samcom that kind of complements this article.
I don't know how well it complements this article.
The desire to collect, you cannot collect anymore unless you can collect in the afterlife.
Dust.
Just build a pyramid.
Yep.
Hey. Disregard females. Acquire Egypt.
Owner holes.
Oh, no.
the pyramid of unsold Funko Pops.
Yeah. Also known as Ramses the Fifth.
All right.
No. This is all getting terrible. Stop that. This is bad. This is really bad. Okay, we should probably actually technically come back.
Yes, indeed. Okay, got the link. Got that. In 3, 2. Welcome back to NTR Radio.
We've got something different this time.
Yes, indeed. Before we get into the second segment, for our live crew, once again, hit up the chat by going to ntrradio.net and clicking the chat link at the bottom of the page. For what's going in the chat right now, if I can get this link properly. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So this is an article that I found while browsing Wikipedia. It's one of the references. The title is The Otaku Group from a Business Perspective, Reevaluation of Enthusiastic Consumers.
You should point out.
Worth noting that this is the date on this is December 1st, 2004. It's going to become important because of some of the assertions that are made in this article.
Not only that, but it technically, depending on who you ask, of course, but technically this does predate the quote-unquote moe boom.
Yes.
Yeah, just
barely.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was kind of already starting, depending on what franchises you're talking about. But
well, here's the thing about the moe boom. Can anyone point out to me the line of demarcation that points out the moe boom?
Yeah, a lot of people say like Haruhi and things like that.
What I see, this.
I was gonna say like
unspecified.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Unspecified point in time between 2005 and 2008, and that's a pretty long stretch of time.
Well, I was gonna say, to me, it would be like stuff like either Two Heart or say that. Yeah, all right, 1999, or maybe Azumanga Daioh. You know,
which is like 2000, 2001, I think.
2000.
Well, in any case, because of this being kind of an arbitrary demarcation, it's not. No one's going to agree upon where it should be drawn.
Yeah, it's such a like blur,
because it's almost an abstract concept anyway. So
yeah, moe in general. Well, as I said, moe is a subjective thing, not an objective thing.
So in any case, it's function. It looks kind of like, if you were to just kind of look at it in the PDF, it reminds me very much of those little outlines we had to do in college. So some people are just are groaning and going, yeah.
But this is actually a pretty interesting article.
Feminist
Ken Kitabayashi for the Nomura Research Institute.
Yeah, NRI, not the NRA.
Is that that's got to be I wish that was like a real like actual institute for moe studies, like just this hall of like.
Actually, I think there is. I don't know if it's called that, but I'm pretty sure there is a real institute for moe studies, quote unquote. Because I
just walked in and it's like.
Now see, this is Genom. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Speaking of the 80s.
So, gonna head down to the abstract here on page 2.
Yeah.
The otaku group is no longer a niche market. Now, already we're making pretty bold assertions. And keep in mind, 2004.
Yeah, so 13 years ago.
According to a survey conducted by Nomura Research Institute that targeted the 5 major otaku fields: comics, animation, idols, games, and PC assembly, the total number of enthusiastic consumers known as otaku in Japan is estimated to be 2.85 million, with a market size of 290 billion yen.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but there was actually a thing that came out around the same time as this article. Originally from 2004, NHK, it probably originally broadcast on NHK, but then Media Blasters released it, and I actually have it somewhere. Did you ever see the thing? I think it was they called it Akihabara Geeks. It was a
can't say I have.
Negative, no, I haven't.
It was an hour-long thing that NHK produced about otaku, in Akihabara. It was an interesting little thing at its time. I mean, it's stuff that I already know, but it showed the different facets of otaku culture.
Right.
Like, they had the guy that did Higurashi.
Mm-hmm.
It had this guy that made his custom-built PC.
Right.
And they called them, and they called like the group clockers because that's like trying to get like fastest speed.
I was gonna say, is that some sort of fucking like hoarders thing?
No, that's a real term. Over here we call them overclockers, but
that's probably it. That was probably it. Just
Anyway, continue on with the abstract.
So while you were doing that, VZ, I called up the exchange rate in today's currency. That's $2.56 billion.
Oh,
yes.
So, continuing. Thus, the existence of the group is becoming increasingly measurable in the consumer market. A common aspect of these enthusiastic consumers is that their consumption behavior is driven by admiration, sympathy, and the pursuit of their ideals. In addition to their extreme patterns of consumption, the behavioral principle of otaku is also characterized in that they devote themselves with strong passion for their ideals to creating fan fictions based on their own peculiar arrangements and interpretations.
Yeah.
Creativity will be the driving force for bringing about industrial innovation. Businesses should not treat enthusiastic consumers merely as loyal customers, but rather study their consumption behavior to find seeds of innovation.
Mm.
And this is, of course, from there, it kind of delves into basically subgroups.
Yeah.
Which kind of tackle different elements of this basic outline here.
VZ, you're about to say something?
Oh, I found it, by the way. Yeah, Akihabara Geeks. I only know
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. But yeah, this is what actually someone will upload the whole thing on YouTube. So,
it's only 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those like, I got it like at a con at the time.
Okay.
Right.
I love the fact that there's no even rating available.
Yeah.
It says user ratings 8. No score yet.
Wait, what's this that I see from Drawing Girl? I think it's somewhere around 2008, 2010, actually. What people refer to as the Moe boom and what people say by the Moe cute girl anime.
So the real conclusion is no one knows when the Moe boom happened.
Considering
that was from 2005 to 2008.
Considering that most people can't even agree upon what Moe actually is, that's
Strawberry Marshmallow came out in like 2005, and also Panty Pony Dash, so it's even before like 2008.
But again, it depends on how you're framing it.
99. So we don't know, and to be very real with it, I increasingly see the term Moe boom as similar to the term Moe anime, in that it's only ever used by people to describe things they don't like.
Yeah, as a pejorative.
Yeah, basically just look back. Basically, just look back in time to when Daryl Surratt started complaining about it.
Which is a shame, because it would be
that's the line of demarcation.
It's a shame because it would be useful to have a line that like the borderline between not moe boom and moe boom. That'll be a useful thing to be able to measure, but nobody can seem to agree on it because everyone's trying to
see. This is where the fall of the Roman Empire started, and then what we refer to as the Dark Ages started. You know, yeah. Now,
I laugh when people say that because it's like the fall of the Roman Empire. It's like, you do know they technically continue on for a long ass time under the Byzantines, right?
Yeah, exactly. So,
I was gonna say, like, was it? See, you got here. You look in the markings in the like in the stone, Cro-Magnon.
Oh yeah.
Moe, Neanderthal Moe.
You see like the old shit, and it's just like war propaganda bits and
Peking Moe, Peking Man Moe,
King Tut Moe.
Well, no, I'm going by different.
No. I'm just thinking because we were talking about pyramids earlier.
Yeah. Oh, you looking like the hieroglyphs. You see.
Yeah, it's like, holy shit, I see tits.
It's a documakra. It's a drawing.
or yeah.
See, they didn't have pillows back then. They had to carry around stone tablets.
No. See, I just assumed they used a cat. That's why they worshipped them as gods. Come on.
The cat girls.
Yeah, that's why cat girls is such a big thing.
Yeah, see, we need to get Alex Jones in on this. Get freaking InfoWars on that. I don't know.
But when exactly the thing we modernly know as Moe got started, that's very it is a very, because it's so.
It depends on how you define it. It really does.
Well,
it depends on how you define it. Either you have one of many wrong definitions, or you have the right definition.
Well, wasn't it like 2002 that like 2chan, the Japanese message board, coined the term Moe or something like that?
Well
because Moe as a feeling certainly existed long before that, but as a proper term,
right?
You know, which is why then you get the term proto Moe,
which makes it sound like it's something that's made in the factory. You know, like it's a prototype. You know,
proto Moe.
It's proto Moe. Not to be related to Proto Man.
Well, I only like
Mega Man franchise.
Yeah, I only like and it's a term because it describes the period before the Moe boom. But
we don't know when that happened. So how do we even end up at that term?
Well, because stuff like Minmay from Macross or Cardcaptor Sakura.
Okay, well here's where my line is.
Or Sail Moon. Yes, Sail Moon. People felt Moe for those characters, but the term did not exist.
Yes. Okay. So here's what we do. Here's what we do for everything we've ever done from the beginning of time since we invented language. We use the term that for something that describes the same thing. We just use the term we came up with. We don't need to come up with a new term that describes something that's functionally the same, but
I know that.
Before that. So why do we even have the term proto Moe? Well, it's just you, and I'll tell you why we have the term proto Moe. It's because of people who think the Moe boom is for the people who are responsible for the fact that we don't know when the Moe boom happened. For them to refer to stuff that they still like, but could be construed as Moe because it's cute girls.
It's funny because I noticed a lot of those people tended to really like Azumanga Daioh.
That must mean it's proto Moe.
Because
you mean it's not Gap Moe?
Honestly, I always credit Azumanga Daioh as the show that kind of made me get into anime as it was coming out, as opposed to me being the guy that's like, okay, I'm just gonna watch old things. But then Azumanga Daioh got me interested in anime it's old now, but as it was there, even though I was I learned about it through the New Type magazine. Yeah.
It's what got you started watching it in a more contemporary kind of concurrent.
Exactly, and not necessarily being the guy that's like new stuff sucks. I only like old stuff.
Yes. I shall lube myself up while I watch Genocyber.
Because over the years, then it was stuff like Rosen Maiden and Strawberry Marshmallow, and Haruhi and Lucky Star, and then by the time 2008 and 9, I was fully cemented in that mindset.
Although I did get a big laugh out of you putting Yui in the battle armor.
Oh yeah. That was specifically because, well, one, besides a funny idea, but because around that same time period, I noticed a lot of people were kind of reminiscing about, I miss stuff like MD Geist, and
even though I hated it when it was new.
This modern moe stuff sucks, but I miss that hyper violent masculine. So just to draw that, and then the best part was in an article done by Mike Toole, he actually linked it to Deviant. That was great. Nice free publicity.
Right. But yeah, I actually have that box set that has those in it, that has MD Geist and all that in there.
Yeah.
It's what's it called, like Mecha Masters or something?
Yeah, it's basically just the Koichi Ohara.
Yeah, it is. It's like Cybernetics Guardian and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got that set, and it's worth having if you like that sort of thing, which I do. It's certainly not brain food, though.
No.
It's really the equivalent of watching those 80s action movies where things just blow up.
Well, that's exactly what MD Geist was. I mean, that's
they clearly had seen plenty of the blockbusters of the time.
Yeah, that's all. They were really into American R-rated movies of that.
Yeah, I mean, that's
and the OVA market freed up to them to make that. Now,
it capitalized on that.
Yeah, and of course, because Japan doesn't have the budget to do the live action stuff that to do like a Hollywood. Obviously the next best thing to do is an anime.
Yeah. It's like, can't get all these gun props. Let's just have tentacles.
Well, I mean, it's just to do like a robot thing in 80s movie budget would have only been possible with like the high, like a Hollywood.
These special effects teams and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And again, Japan, we're talking like tokusatsu level would have only been possible.
All right, so we should probably move on a little bit here.
Yes. Indeed.
Okay.
Okay, so we're heading down to the next page 3 of the PDF. Section 2, subsection 1 is no longer a niche market. The total number of enthusiastic consumers in Japan is 2.85 million. Nomura Research Institute conducted a survey on the market size of enthusiastic consumers, 5 otaku fields: comics, animation, idols, games, PC assembly. According to the survey, total population of the otaku group is estimated at 2.85 million, including overlapping fields, in the amount of money 290 billion yen. Again, by a simple comparison of the 4 fields in the content industry: animation, comics, idols, and games, for the purpose of roughly measuring the size of each market, although such direct comparison based off different fields bases different calculation basis is not so significant. The amount of consumption by enthusiastic consumers in the content industry accounts for more than 11% of the simple aggregate of market sizes of the four fields. 2.3 trillion yen. Comparison suggests that the group has grown to the extent that it can no longer be regarded as a niche market. Keep in mind, this is a 2004 article.
Opens a niche market
from December at that.
So, it's a niche market. Since way back in 2011, when people were complaining, "Oh, appealing to otaku is a niche. How could the anime industry ever sustain itself from market?" Turns out it's not the case, and hadn't been the case for 7 years.
Well, not only that, but I distinctly remember it popping up in a couple of places that business model was suicidal, and it's just like
suicidal business model, and it's now 2018, and
the snake eating its tail. I've heard,
since all that stuff was
said
since 2010, 2011, and we're still here, and we're also bigger than ever. So maybe it's not a suicidal business model. Maybe people are talking out of their ass and lying to people.
I just saw a recent article on ANN a couple of days ago, and pretty much said like, yeah, physical releases of anime is still important in Japan.
Yeah,
like even though we can do like the streaming and the crowdfunding, sales of physical release sales is still the most important.
Yeah, because that's largely where these studios make their money.
Yeah. Okay.
Continuing, taking a look into the comics market.
Oh yeah.
People who play a major role among comics enthusiasts are not only those who read commercial comic magazines, but their own secondary products, including fanzines, doujinshi, publishing, independent publishing, and distributing parodies and fan fictions based on character stories and worlds seen as the comics. According to the number of participants in spot sales of fanzines, on the actual circulation of specific fanzines, the number of comics enthusiasts is estimated at 1 million. Fanzine publishing flourishes mostly for comics fanzines, among others at the Comic Market, one of the biggest fanzine events in Japan. 35,000 fanzine groups participate in the event, and 420,000 people visit the site during the 3-day event. Annual consumption in the group is estimated to be about 100 billion yen. And comparing that to the statistics from Comic Market, let's see, 2003's comic markets were at 460,000 and 420,000 respectively for summer and winter. Comparing to today, we're at 55,000. Well, okay, 2016's comic head numbers, 53,000 for summer and 55,000 for winter. So the market has grown. So since 2004, when otaku was already not a niche market, the market has grown. Continuing. Animation market. Animation enthusiasts are defined as people who love animation, watching TV animation programs, OVAs, and animated movies as a daily routine. Many of them record at more than 10 TV animation programs a week, as shown by their tendency to actively use PCs and hard disk recorders for recording TV programs. Their capability to use information technology, their IT literacy, is also relatively high. Sales of digital video discs per title, the circulation of specific magazines, the number of
definitely no Blu-ray in this article.
not yet, at least.
Yeah.
Number of animation enthusiasts is estimated to be 200,000. Wide range of goods is available. A wide range of goods is merchandised in this field, including DVDs, books, game software, and other related items. Total annual consumption is 20 billion yen. Many animation enthusiasts are also enthusiasts of comics and games. This field largely overlaps with other otaku fields.
Oh boy, the third one.
Idol market. Idol enthusiasts are defined as people who have strong admiration and sympathy for specific pop musicians or entertainers who actively collect information about and support such idols, placing a high priority on these activities in their everyday lives. Based on the number of people who visit concerts of specific idols and sales of related items at concert halls, as well as the sales of first release CDs, the number of idol enthusiasts is estimated at about 800,000. Idol enthusiasts are roughly divided into two types, with a significant difference in their consumption structure. The groupie type, those who place importance on spending time idols at concerts and events, and the collector type, those who seek to have contact with idols via items and media in which idols are featured.
Why won't you marry me?
Total annual consumption, which consists of concert tickets as well as sales of books and magazines, CDs, and other related items, is estimated at about 60 billion yen.
To answer your question, VZ, because you smell like month-old chicken.
Please shake my hand. The handshaking events.
Don't remind me.
Game market. Game enthusiasts are defined as people who spend a large part of their time and disposable income on playing games. Game enthusiasts are divided into various segments of the game industry, such as home use games, PC games, and network games. According to research on the average time spent playing games and the circulation of specific magazines, the number is estimated at about 800,000. Among the game segments, the segment with the largest population is that for home use games, of which the household penetration rate is high. The total annual consumption of the market is 78 billion yen, of which consumption by PC game users accounts for a large share. These users also always desire PCs of the latest specification in order, for example, to beat their opponents in competitive games by 1/60th of a second. Many of them are also PC assembly enthusiasts. In contrast, the network game sector consumption is not so large, considering the time spent for playing games, because a fixed monthly fee is charged for most network games.
Can I just a small interjection here?
Absolutely.
Interestingly enough, since we were talking about the idol market just a minute ago, it's interesting how it kind of predicts that exploding, and it did, of course.
Yes.
Like because in 2004, it's nowhere near as nuts as it is now. I mean, just
and like the article detailed earlier, we're seeing a lot of overlap.
Yeah,
more overlap than probably was happening back in this era.
Yeah, lots of cross-pollination going on here. Yeah, I mean, they're pointing out that it was already happening back then, but now it's really common, because think about something like Idolmaster.
Yeah.
Like there's the music, but then there's also the anime, there's the games, there's the concerts. And then there's the fans and the way they kind of hang out. I mean, I've seen some of them, doing their thing. And not only that, but how many different like idol anime has just came flooding out.
Yeah, we were getting a new one every season for a while.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, some better than others.
Yeah, and now they're doing a male idol.
Yep.
Yes. I believe we call that America's Got Talent. No. Just kidding.
Gotta get the Fujoshi bucks.
Number 5, the PC assembly market. Yeah. PC assembly enthusiasts are defined as people who enjoy assembling PCs per se as an end in itself, deviating from the intended purpose of using computers, i.e. preparing documents, accessing the internet, and conducting scientific calculations. According to the figures, including sales at PC parts shops in Akihabara and the number of specific first lot PC parts sold, the population is estimated to be about 50,000. PC assembly enthusiasts are roughly divided into two types. Wealthy PC assembly enthusiasts who purchase new products having the highest levels of sophistication at their initial phase, and junk PC assembly enthusiasts who build PCs with parts obtained at inventory clearance sales. Market size is estimated to be about 32 billion yen. An overview of the Otaku group indicates that the share of such consumers tends to be larger in the markets that have existed for a relatively long time and have been able to penetrate to general consumers, just such as the market for comics, which in that stands to reason. If the market hasn't been around for a long time, there's going to be less people in it. If the market's been around for a long time and has a lot of influence on the general otaku market as a whole, then it's going to have more consumers in it.
Yeah, I mean that's just, again, somewhat self-explanatory. So
the next page has a nifty little chart on it, depicting the relationship between different markets. The connection between animation and comics is very strong. Comics and games very strong. Animation and games is weaker, though I would figure that that has changed to a much stronger connection over time between 2004 and now.
Mm-hmm.
Games and PC assembly naturally have a connection. PC and AV equipment have a stronger connection.
Although I see a lot of these connections now are probably much stronger today than, like, because you could see a connection, even if it's a weak one, for animation and like railways.
Oh yeah, to some level.
I mean, there is some level of convergence in a lot of this stuff, because you start seeing, again, the animation in games would probably even be a stronger one, and so with the. I also would probably think that, if nothing else, like, I mean, like, take something like Photokano, like there's the cameras there.
Yeah. And you'd also see the establishment of a connection between animation entertainers, games, and entertainers.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just this neat little. It's not really a flow chart, I wouldn't call it, but
it's a connection chart.
Yeah, it's just a chart.
And to put it in perspective, this is before the Idolmaster came out.
Oh yeah.
So that connection hadn't even been established back when this was published.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to realize this entire publication is 13 years old, but it tells you a lot, though, because it tells you what was going on at the time and what they thought would continue to happen.
It tells you what was going on at the time, what they projected to happen, and the contrast between the reality of what was going on back then and what was being said about the current market in 2010, 2011 by people in the West.
Oh yeah.
It's part of our ongoing saga of exposing all the lies people have been telling about this industry.
Oh yeah. What was some of the stuff they were saying in like 2010 here?
Well, it's among the stuff we mentioned earlier. Oh, it's a
suicidal business model.
Business model to appeal to such a niche market.
Then again, are you really going to take business advice from someone who says advanced capitalism like it's a bad thing?
Oh yeah, that's one thing, and the other thing is, you don't really see these people that are on this thought process really doing a whole lot to prove that they're a better consumer to appeal to.
Well, no,
right.
So there's also that.
Well, also they they're always proven wrong by the fact that the things that those people tend to get passionate about never really do all that big.
Well, yeah, that's because they don't get passionate in the same way otaku get passionate.
Really, no, because passion is kind of like a seen as like basically the thing that someone said. You like this thing too much.
Yeah. I can tell you what it really means in the modern language, and there's no nice way to say it. But what they really do is they think if you're passionate about something, you're autistic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That thing.
Well, it's this endless quest to not be a nerd somehow.
Yeah, that's the thing that kills me. It's almost like I'm embarrassed to be this thing, but you know. I don't get it.
Anyway, we're going to move down to page 5 of the PDF, section 3, subsection 1, the spiral of consumption, creation, and passion.
If it was just called spiral of consumption, you would think it's about drug use. Like, can't you just see like somebody listening to the downward spiral and just like, you know,
hey, this is what we were talking about in that stupid I don't even know what to call it, an in-betweener, a fake commercial that I made for the fake show.
Yeah. the kids on the slope bit.
The A&E special, kids on the slope.
It really does.
It youths away from drugs. They're on the slope,
but it
man.
does totally sound like that. It sounds like those Scared Straight kind of programs where they take like kids or young adults to like jail and try to scare the crap out of them.
Kids on the slope.
but this is a bit more of like actually physically on the streets, literally.
Yeah,
like you imagine like someone like Ice-T's walking around.
Like you're like in the hood.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to get these kids off.
Fisticuffs trying to make his way in there.
Away from drugs and gangs. The big difference between enthusiastic consumers and ordinary users is that the consumption behavior of the former is driven by the pursuit of their ideals. And this is what sets otaku apart from the people who are out there in 2010, 2011 saying, oh, the otaku group's a niche. Why is the anime community catering to them? This is why. The behavioral objective of otaku is to materialize or have contact with their ideals. Examples are the imaginary figure of a female idol, a PC of the highest level performance, and breaking the record high score in the game. More specifically, as their consumption behavior is driven by their passion in pursuing their ideals, the price elasticity upon consumption often declines to the minimum level, and they tend to hurry to extremes, pouring all of their disposable income into such pursuit. Otaku tend to raise their ideals as they come closer to their ideals. Raise their ideals as they come closer to their ideals, while repeating consumption, peer evaluation, and creative activities, e.g., collecting more items or breaking more record scores. This is the joke I always make, where you have too many figures, but the solution isn't buy less stuff. The solution is buy more shelves.
Yeah. It's basically the treadmill, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's the hedonic treadmill.
Yeah.
You keep going and you eventually get back to a baseline and have to keep going again.
Or it's like me. It's like, I just finished collecting the regular Love Live Figma. And then Sunshine. It's like, oh. It's like, it begins.
And it's not like you're not going to buy it. You're going to buy it.
It's just like the Japanese Pokemon commercials from South Park.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Pokemon. Yeah, you're gonna buy it. We know you're gonna buy
it. Yeah, that's like they really know how to market these things.
Such increasingly lofty ideals induce them to take further steps for consumption. Furthermore, as otaku keep pursuing their ideals, they never attain their goal. They just keep giving themselves new tasks and fall into a cycle of endless consumption.
See,
enthusiastic consumers with the behavioral principle above can be compared to stars that fall into a huge gravitational field. Go ahead, VZ.
I'm sure if some like Western commentators were to read this, it would be very much like, oh, otaku are just mindless consumers. They don't really,
yeah, they'd see this as a negative thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but a lot of those people actually don't like capitalism.
that too.
This goes to another point where you ever notice these people trying to draw a hard line between.
But like,
I hate using this term to describe it, but I really have no other way to describe it. Between.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, how about the fact that, yeah, I mean that's I totally understand.
Art isn't meant for the money.
Well, it's like
you could do both.
Every time anyone brings up sales figures,
they
say, "Oh, we're not talking about that." Sales figures don't mean quality. When nobody ever said that, they just don't like when people bring up sales figures because that's quantifiable.
Right. Well, another thing is basically
quantifiable metrics.
Another thing is basically, why does it matter? It's not your money. I mean, how somebody chooses to spend it. I mean,
a drawn girl in the IRC between art and product. So it's the distinction between something that is ostensibly created purely for artistic pursuits and might be sold, but isn't necessarily meant to be sold, and something that is created purely to be sold.
So most anime.
So the vast majority of TV anime.
Or the vast majority of TV.
Continuing. Recently, the sense of being strongly attached to one's ideals has often been expressed as moe. The term, which literally means sprouting, is the term derived from another Japanese word, moyasu or moeru, which means burning passion or heart. Used for female idols and animation characters, but currently it is also used to applaud the stylishness of hardware that has become popular among enthusiastic consumers. It has recently become recognized among overseas fans who enjoy Japanese otaku pop culture and pop culture, such as animation and games.
Hey, I don't know. Is Del moe?
Well, Del wouldn't be moe because
no,
baseline of moe.
So you could say, since my iMac gets really hot fast because it has like no fan-fied input, so you could say it's moe.
That's moe in the old sense.
No, what I would say is it's overheating. Wah wah wah.
It's just blushing.
Yes.
Got the.
Yes, your latest iPhone is moe.
Continuing. Enthusiastic consumers are not merely heavy users. Strong
heavy users
forming a community. Subjects in which enthusiastic consumers are interested are highly segmented and specialized. Therefore, a considerable amount of energy is required to collect and exchange relevant information. Enthusiastic consumers have a strong interest to a degree or in a subject that ordinary people cannot easily understand. Therefore, they feel that they should not be out in public. For this reason, they're strongly oriented to... Get back in your box. For this reason, they're strongly oriented toward forming a community with those who are interested in the same subject. However, with such a highly segmented field, it is difficult to find people with the same interests. Events where people gather for their common subjects of interest, such as spot sales in the comics market and concerts, make considerable contributions toward forming otaku communities.
There's a figure here. That's the word.
Page 6 of the PDF. We have figure 2,
which which is a wonderful funnel.
Pretty much depicting the otaku ideal concept that was discussed earlier. It's pretty much a black hole.
Yes. That pulls its you know what it reminds me of more than anything else based upon this? I don't know if you ever rode anything like this, but there's a ride at Six Flags that they call like the Twister. And basically, like when it takes off the gravitational pull, smacks you up against the wall.
Oh yeah, and
it just spins around really fast. I'm sure there's variants of it.
Well, yeah, there's a.
But then the floor drops out.
Exactly.
The G force holds you to the wall.
Yeah, I think it's lake compounds. It's basically a cylinder.
Yes.
That you stand up against.
It's basically
the wall.
It reminds you of those like tests for the astronauts. In the centrifuges, yeah, where it's just like, and you just really hope nobody pukes because you're getting hit. I can tell you that right now. If somebody hurls, you're all getting plastered. Yuck.
Number 2, extending their influence with use of IT. Dissemination of IT, and in particular, the diffusion of the internet since the latter half of the 1990s has greatly affected the behavioral patterns of enthusiastic consumers, both in quality and quantity. Quality, internet-connected people who shared an interest in niche genre, but who existed in geographically remote areas, them to form a community, and drastically increase the amount of information they could exchange with the community. So basically, this is, if you have someone who knows a whole lot ACO, but he's out in the sticks, he can now educate the other people who want to know more about Project ACO. who might live in the same area but still don't have that knowledge. So that's why it's useful to be able to connect in this way. In terms of quality, people within such a community can gain confidence or security because their tastes are not regarded as being strange. Eventually, they cease to hesitate to act in ways that might attract public attention. Thus, otaku communities become more noticeable, which is a bit of a double-edged sword. Another thing that has somewhat changed between 2004 and now is that particular detail is a bit of a double-edged sword at this point, especially when working within anime fan communities in particular. Profile of enthusiastic consumers largely overlaps with that of consumers who are largely familiar with IT, highly familiar with IT. Enthusiastic consumers generally have a high degree of IT literacy or capability to make good use of the internet for collecting information. They also exchange a considerable amount of information via web pages, bulletin boards, and chat sessions. Extrapolate that into social media in the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
Actively creating fan fictions. Number 3, each person has his or her own interpretation of the theory regarding a subject in which he or she has a strong interest. Such a tendency is particularly strong in enthusiastic consumers. They actively express their own interpretations in various forms, such as publishing critical essays on web pages or fanzines, creating stories as variations of the originals, making character figures, and studying how to become skillful at games. In Japan, before the internet became popular, fanzine publishing flourished as a grassroots activity for presenting fan fictions and helped in the forming of otaku communities. This is things like Comic Cat, Wonderfest, and to a lesser extent, the entire Any-blog paradigm of the early 2010s. Means becomes a purpose because enthusiastic consumers pursue ideals that are essentially beyond their reach. They often lose sight of their initial purpose in the course of the pursuit and become addicted to a genre that is different from the one initially targeted. PC assembly enthusiasts are a typical example of such consumers. So this is basically, to put it in today's terms, if you're a PC gamer, chances are you are at risk of of becoming a PC assembly enthusiast, because in order to play these games at a high level, you're going to need to get a better PC, and more often than not, you're getting more for your money just by building it. So you eventually roll into that too. So and to a certain extent, this also happens in other sectors as well. So if you're like the Idolmaster anime, you might end up getting into the Idolmaster game and becoming into gaming through that.
Right. And again, a lot of this stuff, again, has there's a lot of convergence that happens with that sort of thing, because some of it's necessity, like you mentioned earlier with the PC. Because
some of it happens in necessity, and some of it happens as a direct product of pretty much marketing. Because a lot of
you sort of absorb things through osmosis in a way.
And a lot of anime are pretty much explicitly created to market other properties. Because
pretty much.
Think of how many people watched AKB 0048 group because of that.
Well, but believe me, I tried playing. Actually, the only Idolmaster game I was able to mildly attempt to play was the DS one. And even then, it's like, that's a text-based thing.
That's also like, the franchise just isn't over here. So we barely have any penetration in the Idolmaster franchise, except for DLC Planes and Ace Combat.
I could play the Love Life game on my iPhone.
I don't know. There's a lot of penetration in them dojins.
Maybe get out this soundboard.
Yes. At least it isn't the drowning sound effect.
In any case, Section 4, Otaku as a base for testing innovation. This is interesting.
Yeah.
So far, enthusiastic consumers have attracted attention from businesses only for their position as loyal customers who spend an enormous amount of money for content, but as mentioned above, their important characteristics are their passion and creativity that drive them to consumption. More emphasis should not only be placed on the significant amount of consumption by enthusiastic consumers, but also that they play certain roles in industry while establishing a community within the market and serving as a base for testing innovation. To industrial innovation, enthusiastic consumers play the following roles. 1. Suggesting new concepts and methods of use and presenting them to the market. 2. Becoming the first sponsors for testing products. And 3. Acting as evangelists for initial products. Some examples in which the activities of enthusiastic consumers have successfully integrated into industry are presented below. And we see this in the Western market, where it used to be, you remember how like streaming was exclusively an illegal thing before Crunchyroll went legit.
Yeah.
Basically. And like even Crunchyroll was a pirating outlet before they went legit. And that's all this type of paradigm. And over here, it also tends to happen on a legally dubious level before it gets adopted into the market.
See Photoshop.
But the simple fact that a lot of the media isn't readily obtained over here on an official capacity. So we have to have tape trading, roll that into fan subbing, roll that and start getting little bit of legitimacy until we suddenly have, okay, we have a company that's licensing these products to translate and sell in the US to the US market.
And these products in particular have the extra step of not being in English, so they have to go through the extra channel.
Exactly.
Between, let's just say what it is, a middleman.
Right.
Basically, between you and the creator is this channel that makes it, palpable for you to actually be able to do anything with it.
Yep.
I mean, and that's going to be a little different than some other things. It's not like it's just I don't know, like a CD or a movie or whatever, where you just get it, you pop it in, and you enjoy it.
Right.
There is that extra bit of legwork that needs to kind of happen.
Anyway, we're going. I want to take a look at this figure 3 on page 7 of the PDF.
Oh, the cone, yeah.
Yeah. You guys remember tier theory?
Yep.
Yes.
This is tier theory.
Mm-hmm.
Tier what? Where, and it's not exact. It's not an exact 1-to-1 of the concept I'm trying to, but it's close enough. Where the vast majority are just your general consumers. You have a minority of more hardcore people, and you have an even smaller minority hardcore people who are on a different level than the people who are than the one larger group.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say about the whole otaku being like early adopters and the innovators. That's pretty much like how Toho came like out of nothing.
Oh yeah.
And just like is now you can buy like Toho figures and such. Same thing with actually a lot of things. Like that's how Higurashi came about and all that.
Yeah.
And basically the next thing is basically explaining basically sort of explaining in a more practical sense what this cone represents.
Right.
Mm.
So move on to the next page 8 of the PDF. We have figure 4.
Yes.
And this is particularly interesting. It's the difference between where otaku PCs were at versus where regular consumer PCs were at. At the beginning, we have the PC-AT compatible machines. Move on, we got the TV tuners for PCs. Fine. And modern day, we call those HTPCs, and they're pretty widespread at this point. They're actually getting more popular. But we get that. We got the phones PCs, integrate that, and now you have the flat screens that because you don't have all the space taken up. Water cooling to reduce noise, and that's consumer level.
I think remember I was telling you about like the thing, the Akihabara Geeks thing, right? And the guy making his, I think the guy making his own PC was using like liquid nitrogen or something.
Hmm.
Yeah. I actually, because here's the thing. I actually have a water cooling unit. It's not mounted right now because I'm waiting to get a better processor. But that's at this point that's consumer level. You can go to Best Buy and pick it up, and I know that because that's what I did. But you get you get the early adopters, and they basically serve as a test bed for the technology, because the use case just isn't there for the consumer. Like, what person needs a water cooled PC for what they're doing? If there's just regular ass stuff they're doing on the PC, only people who are like power users, people who use their PC for things that usually takes more power to do, are gonna go into the water cooling, and they're gonna get the highest level graphics card and all this RAM, and they're gonna start using SSDs because that's a whole lot faster than spinning disks and stuff like that.
Right, and if you move down to the next figure, this is one of the more interesting things, in my opinion.
Innovation driven by enthusiastic consumers.
And it's a 4-point statement with these arrows kind of showing you where you go and how it works.
Yep. So, number 1, provide products or services based on new concepts. So businesses introduced products, and enthusiastic consumers, the otaku in this case, take those on. And to number 2, make choices or arrangements. So the enthusiastic consumers, they tinker with these new products. What floats, what sinks. Move on to 3. Observe and adopt how enthusiastic consumers use products or services. So the businesses are watching how the otaku are interacting with their new products. They're
so
seeing,
it's sort of a feedback loop.
Exactly. They're seeing what floats and what sinks in the otaku market. Number 4, provide products or services redesigned for mass consumption.
Right, and this is your quote unquote normies.
Now we're getting to, okay, only years ago, only hardcore people who like build their own tubing setups and stuff had liquid cooled PCs.
None of this is really all that different than how a lot of military inventions ended up becoming household items.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very similar that it was tried and tested and thoroughly actually in the field, wherever it may be, whether it be in space or actually in a field.
Yeah.
But whatever that technology and that information ended up feeding back in and becoming just basic raw info.
Yep. And then they took the military's use case or the otaku's use case in this example and kind of repurpose it and sort of water it down for the general consumer's use case, because the general consumer is eventually going to catch up with those use cases as not only as more niche interests become more mainstream, and as in particular for computers, just as computing power increases. These processors get hotter and hotter, so they need better and better ventilation, fans, and eventually, if you're getting into it and if you're doing intensive stuff with it, you might start looking into a liquid cooling system. And so now you don't have to build your own like the crazy people did back in the day.
I just got this funny visual of somebody in a really kind of dank like basement with cobwebs and stuff. You know, it just like these really overly complicated apparatuses, you know, like, okay, we need to put this thing here, we need to hold this thing together with duct tape. You know,
well, realistically, if you're at that level of building PCs, you also care a whole lot about like stuff like cable management. So at that level, your PC probably looks real clean inside.
Yeah, well, I'm not necessarily even referring to PCs per se, but just like basically rigging something to where it would work, but in a very roundabout kind of way.
Where it's like BattleTech, where the whole conceit is everything is a piece of shit that barely works.
but I still need it to work. And you know, basically, let's just think of like the Millennium Falcon, where you know, where Han basically says it might not look like much, but
it'll get you there.
Exactly. I've never had a problem with the way it looks, but that's just me.
Anyway, number 3, recommendation on the use of otaku and their activities. As described above, making positive use of the activities of enthusiastic consumers may lead to signs of new methods of use or concepts for products to or achieve industrial innovation. However, it should be noted that reflecting the opinions of enthusiastic consumers in specific sectors in the development process, such as choosing functions to be installed in PCs or conducting parameter adjustment, is not always recommended. There are too many cases of product development to enumerate in which general consumers have not accepted products based on functions desired among enthusiastic consumers. Basically, that's what I was saying earlier, where when you introduce it to the general public, down because the general public isn't as hardcore as the otaku market. So when when you introduce, like, say, water cooling, it's not going to be as robust as someone who's really crazy and did the custom setup.
Right.
In the content industry as a whole, we have recently seen remarkable movement toward expanding areas under the control of content suppliers and distribution, including repeated extensions of copyright terms and the expansion of scope of the application of neighboring rights. Furthermore, because of the penetration of digital content distribution, control over the use of such content such as copywriting has been strengthened through digital technology. This is basically DRM, digital rights management, copy protection, and expansion of copyright laws to basically battle against piracy. These actions are to be expected from a commercial perspective, but there's a concern that control that is strengthened to an excessive degree could prevent creative activities on the part of consumers and finally cause a slump in the content industry. Among the characteristics of enthusiastic consumers, this report has focused on the function of serving as a base for testing their creativity rather than on their strong orientation toward consumption. Enthusiastic consumers play an important role in industry, e.g., forming consumer communities and expanding the overall market size by creating markets for secondary products. Have been involved in these activities with the aim of making effective use of enthusiastic consumers from the perspective of the customers. Businesses should begin reviewing the features in their line of products or services that evoke strong feelings and what aspects of their products are currently being pursued.
And the rest of it is basically just a little bit of sort of sourcing and whatnot.
Yeah.
And
so basically the point of this article is trying to make, and the point we're trying to make by bringing it up is this is why people try to appeal to otaku. Not just because they're loyal customers, but because they actively give back to the market in that way.
Like I said, it's very feedback loop.
Exactly. They're pivotal to get new market revelations and new market developments.
Yes.
Because not only do they consume, they're always at the cutting edge, and they're constantly reevaluating their own consumption and furthering their ideals. And they're capable of that level of passion. Which is a difference you see when you compare, generally speaking, when you compare people who are really into cute girls anime and people who are into whatever flavor of the season is big with the Western fan base. Because you see, what you see is people who are into cute girls anime tend to be into the same cute girls anime for years. There's people out there still on K-On!, still on Clannad, and both of those are over a decade old.
Still championing girlfriend beta.
Still on girlfriend beta. Compared to just basic consumers who are basically one and done. Say, okay, I got the thing now. Now I'm satisfied. No, otaku are never satisfied. That's that probably one of the pivotal details about otaku. Never satisfied. Buy more shelves because I don't have enough figures.
Well, and I think that's gonna kind of wrap up this point.
Yep.
Yes, indeed. So we're up against the break. We're doing the third segments, hitting up the winter season chart for 2018.
I'll put that in the chat. Just for...
right here on NTR Radio.
Two things. Do you want to sort this by title?
Yes, alphabetical order.
Yeah, title.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm going to actually make use of this break too.
What I hate about this time of year is that I get both hot and cold. It's like I got the headphones, which make my ears hot. But then, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. But then, obviously, the room is really cold, so it's like, you can never win.
Yeah, I was actually having that problem earlier because I was like, why is it so hot in here? Then I noticed I had the fan on my PC turned all the way up. So it was so the inside of my PC was probably pretty cool, but it was blasting all the hot air just out into the room.
I haven't finished, but I'll work on it this week. The part of the book where I told you I make it into 10. Was it 10 by 8.5 or something?
Yep.
And then like I'll do like a test one, and you'll see.
Yeah.
I'll show you like on Twitter, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll send them through DML, like through Twitter, but through private, as I'm doing them. Then you could just save them, as long as. Also, after the show, I'll send you the well, you know what? Maybe I could put in the chat, and anyone else can. Akiba Geeks. It's pretty good from its time. Akiba. I like they showed a like an old picture of Akihabara, and it had like it had like I don't know, some sort of like cow or ox to like pulling things. I'm like, and then it's like when we think of Akihabara, it's like, the cutting edge of technology. Just want to check if this. All right, this should. I'll put this in the chat, and then if you want, you can watch it on your own time. All right, so. I'll put it on the side here too for you. Yeah, the first thing they show is Rika from Higurashi. I could have sworn he used nitrogen, not nitrogen, liquid nitrogen, the overclocker.
As far as I understand it, that's actually a really bad coolant.
Oh.
It doesn't hold heat well.
Like
a lot of the time I hear water or like mineral oil or something like that.
Oh, there was the guy who found the picture. He was like suicidal or something, but then he finds a picture of a Moe girl angel, and then he becomes like really obsessive about that. And they interview a cafe maid girl too in this. So.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
He goes back.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I put in the chat just for anyone that wants to watch it on their own time. The documentary I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's there.
So we just gonna kind of go through them, or?
Yes, indeed. In 3, 2. Welcome back to NTR Radio. We are doing the season chart for the winter 2018 season that's already started.
Yep. I watched a couple of things. As just as the thing that you said that we did just before, Otaku being early adopters. I tend to be the early adopter in the group here.
Yeah, like I said, you are our early adopting sucker. That's not an insult. That's a role.
No.
That's a very important role that you play.
No.
Okay, so obviously, of this first row, I think.
Well, hang on. What you want to do is you're gonna go to any chart and you're gonna sort it by title.
Yes.
We're all on the same page.
Sorry, I got my blanket. It's
so. First off, you have Basilisk Oka Ninpocho.
Which that's a sequel, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know Basilisk is already a show. I've never seen it. I honestly don't know anybody who has.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never actually seen it.
No. As for the next one, Beatless. No, not Beetle.
I was about to say, I looked at that and I was like, the Beatles?
Yeah, that was the first thing that happened to me, too. I was just like, yeah.
Anime.
Yeah.
If there's one anime that should have done the parody for the Abbey Road album cover, it should have been this one.
Yes. So, I don't really see much out of it other than the fact that it seems to be futuristic. Let's see. Nothing inherently is jumping out about it. I don't know about you guys. It comes from a light novel.
And nothing particularly stand out about it.
Next one is something.
But if someone comes up to me and say, "Hey, Beatless is the shit," I'd probably check it out.
And of course, Cardcaptor Sakura is back.
Yes. I have the only unfortunate where the only Cardcaptor Sakura I saw was Cardcaptors, and so I never had the proper grip on me. It never properly latched on.
I need to actually sit down and seriously watch Cardcaptor Sakura, like the real one.
Mm-hmm. So, fans seem to have a pretty good opinion of it from what I can tell.
Yeah, I heard it looks a lot like the original, just the overall feel of it.
Mm-hmm.
Even visually.
Right, and it's Madhouse, so of course it's competent.
Yeah. Next one is something I feel like I should check out, but I haven't yet.
I just like the name.
Citrus. The
Citrus.
manga for that is out, though. Here.
Yes.
Very thing.
Yes. Also, literally Mountain Dew, the anime.
Yeah. One girl is a Garu. I think the other one's a student council thing, and so the beautiful yet stern student council president. Yeah. Okay. So Yuri stuff happens. Maybe I'll check it out.
Could have never guessed that.
Yeah. Dame and Prince Anime Caravan.
Anime Caravan.
It's going to be about a group of traveling gypsies, of course.
Adaptation of Smart. Only Jip is, not Gypsy.
I was gonna say, okay, wandering Romanies. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Vagabonds.
Vagabonds. Yeah.
Anyway, nothing particular looks stand out about that to me. You guys?
No, it's based off a video game too, so any interest in it would probably need to flow from that. So Trigger's doing something again.
Dancing in the Franks.
Spelled with 2 X's.
Darling in the Franks.
2 X's.
Oh wait, joint project between Trigger and A1 Pictures.
That was announced last year at Expo. Story set in the distant future. The land is ruined and humanity establishes the mobile Fort City plantation. I'm sorry. You couldn't have come up with a better name than that? Plantation? Really? Anyway. Basically just seems to be your typical okay, crappy future. It's got robots. Something about child prodigies. Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything.
Kids piloting robots.
Yeah. I know, right?
This preview and
you watching it?
Yeah, I'm skipping through the preview now. It doesn't look bad visually. But again, it's like what was the last real good original robot show?
Good question. Good question.
People were pumped about Valvrave for the season that it happened, and then they dropped off on it. Some people were pumped about Gargantia, but I don't hear anything about that anymore.
Yeah, that's funny you brought that up because that came and went just in one ear out the other.
That's the problem with a lot of these new ones. They just can't stick around after they.
Captain Earth really came and went.
It really did.
You know, they kind of need to make something that sticks around in the memory.
I think if any genre is due for some kind of shaking up with a show that really introduces some new paradigms that we haven't seen, at least that we haven't seen for years, it's got to be the mecha genre.
I think
like how many shows have teenagers pilot mechs?
Okay, let's
Zero came and went.
We should probably kind of move along, otherwise it's going to take forever.
Death March, Kara Hajimaru Isekai Kyosoku.
Light novel name.
I was doing so well, and then
I saw Isekai in the title. I'm like, oh, another one of these.
Silverlink.
Light novel based Isekai series are coming out.
Silverlink has a crazy amount of shows this season. Just keep a number scored.
All right. Again, just from a glance at it, nothing's jumping out about it. Other than Silverlink is doing it, I guess.
Yeah.
The newest installment in Fate.
Yeah, weirdly, I didn't even know Shaft was attached to this one.
Yeah, apparently.
I might watch it then if Shaft is doing it.
Yeah. I know.
Plus, like I am that tiny bit into Fate.
Mm.
So
see, my problem is I don't know where the fuck to start with Fate. Like, point me to the one to start with. If you show me what's.
So I feel like there are some.
What's the most casual Fate thing that I can watch?
Okay, if you're looking for a Fate or a casual, pick one, because you're not gonna get both.
Yes, that's the problem. I don't know what.
Well, it's you, or you just got to do like me and just kind of skim the atmosphere of Fate.
Can I watch that one about the two bullies?
Like watch the
Prism Elia, whatever.
Play a little bit of the visual novel and then fall off on it, or watch the Unlimited Blade Works movie, but not none of the original, because you sort of get parts of it, and a lot of it is just me reading like wiki articles, just so I know shit. But and like I'm the least into Fate guy. If that makes
I
sense.
I can't. I haven't found a way to get into it. So I don't know.
Pick up the original series and mostly see if the characters enjoy it.
All right.
But do be warned, it is one of those really, really heavy on the world building and really, really heavy on the story.
Okay, starting up is
I might check this one out though, Fate Extra.
Something that I watched today, Gakuin Babysitters. And it is actually kind of cute. It's basically, if you remember years ago, around 2010, there was a show, Hanamaru Kindergarten. I
was about to say, this looks like Hanamaru Kindergarten.
It's pretty much that, although this one's a little bit more like shoujo-ish, or what's that word? Not what's the adult? Josei.
Okay.
So, you know,
maybe this will be the one Josei series I ever get into.
Yeah, it's pretty cute.
Also, VZ, just for you in the chat, apparently somebody made a guide on how to get into Fate, and it's really not no more simple than what I just said. Like, look at this flowchart.
Holy shit. I'm saving that just for the lulz. Just looking at it in the feed.
I'm saving it because I might actually use it.
I love the fact that it has the second part of it is side series.
Yeah, exactly.
Finish main series first.
I 100% broke that rule.
Okay. Anyway,
I like Fate Extra. There really isn't a flowchart for this one.
And yeah, Ginno Guardian 2. Not familiar with this title at all.
Yeah, I didn't know no Guardian 1 thing.
I never saw the first one.
Next thing, Gintama, which is something that final arc for Gintama is this thing that's like crazy popular, but I don't know anyone that's into it.
Exactly,
personally.
Me neither. Like
I felt the same way about Sword Art Online.
See, I knew people like in real life, knew people who are into SAO, but I've never met a single person that I know of, at least, who's like into Gintama. And like I know it's a long running series, and I know it's good. At least I should hope something that is around this long is good. But I've never met anyone who's into Gintama.
Drawing Girl says I like Gintama.
Okay. We all now know someone who likes Gintama, so we can eliminate that mystery from our lives.
And this next one by A1 Pictures, Grand Crest Senki.
Light novel, of course it is.
At least it hasn't. At least it's not a long ass fucking paragraph for a name. Yeah, it kind of has that. I bet Anubis likes the designs on this. At least
this looks to me like, and I don't know anything about this series. I'm actually watch a bit of this PV here. This looks to me like, and this is gonna pump me up if this is actually what it is. But it's like they took Legend of the Galactic Heroes, that sort of style of anime, and put it in medieval times.
That's kind of the vibe I was kind of getting.
At the preview here, it does not seem like that's the case, but it is just a preview video. You know, this just occurred to me. You really can't make a preview video for Legend of the Galactic Heroes. What are you going to put in there? Because it's such a slow plotting series that you can't like put action shots in there. The ship firing beams, that's the action shot of Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
Okay. So, moving along.
Hakata Tonkotsu Ramens.
Yes. A light novel, unsurprisingly, basis here. Seems to be like some assassin kind of stuff, huh?
League of a killer of professional killers has shown up in the city. So it's a crime city, and dudes coming here to kill people who kill people.
Hey, Dexter.
Yo, I heard you like killers, so I killed the killers that kill the killers.
The killers.
And then I was killed.
That'll be the opposite of what you want, like killers.
Oh.
This looks kind of cute.
Hakameto Mikochi.
Yeah. 9 centimeters, 3.5 inches tall. The tiny girls.
This reminds me of those. This reminds me very much of those old shows that they used to show back when I was a kid, like Mapletown and whatnot.
I was just gonna say Moe Smurfs. Smurfs but with Moe girls.
But there's only yeah.
We'll have a Gargamel.
Better question: will he be blue?
On Haku Hoshin Engi.
Sea Station.
New adaptation of the Hoshin game with a different voice cast. Okay.
Ouch.
Blah 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 blah.
Evil spirits, witchcraft.
Nothing particularly standing out to me about it.
The guy in the back looks like anime villain number 1, like template number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chart.
Like a committee came up with an anime villain. Okay.
Yeah.
We need him to be large and imposing. He's got to have light-colored hair and throw an eye patch on there.
Big shoulders.
Oh, one dude suggested the eye patch, but he was like, the second dude was like, oh, no, make it an evil eye. Yeah.
Dun, dun,
and
dun,
everyone
dun.
nod their heads in the committee like, yeah.
Ouch.
It's probably a perfectly good anime too. I'm just shitting on it.
Yeah, okay. Hitori no Shita, the Outcast second season.
Didn't even know the first season existed.
Same.
Who got to Precure? The
15th Precure series.
I have never seen any Precure.
Me neither.
I've never seen a single Precure.
I've not seen a single second of Precure.
Oh no, I can't say that. I've seen it, but very colorful. Yes, very, very vibrant, I think is the correct word.
I just know that it's a magical girl show for actual girls.
Yeah, basically.
Oh yeah, as opposed to all the ones that are coming out for men.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Idolish 7.
Yes.
So more male idols.
This is one of those dude idol anime that VZ was talking about earlier.
Mm.
I heard of this. Yeah, into Junji collection. I've heard of that guy. Isn't that the guy?
That's the guy who I have books. I've like the 2 Gundam manga that I got signed by him at Anime NYC.
Isn't that the guy that did the thing with the sharks? Too.
Gyo.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Gyo. That's it. Because I used to have that. They actually did an anime.
He's the guy who did Gyo.
Yeah, they actually did an anime adaptation of that.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember it not being very good.
It was all right, but they changed. They made the female the main character.
Yeah.
This one I want to see.
Oh, I'm pumped for this one.
Yeah, Karakai Jozu no Takagi-san, which is I think like Takagi the the master of teasing or something. If you blush, you lose. Living by this principle, the middle schooler, I love it already. Nishikata gets constantly made fun of by his seat neighbor, Takagi-san. With his pride shattered to pieces, he vows to turn the tables and get back at her some days. And so he attempts to tease her day after day, only to find he himself the victim to Takagi-san's ridicule again sooner than later. Will he be able to make Takagi-san blush from embarrassment even once in the end?
No, this I'm looking at the preview. This looks adorable.
Yeah.
The next one is called
Master.
Drawing Girl was pumped for that one.
Killing Bites.
Yeah.
Human animal hybrids.
Bloody Roar, the animated series.
Interesting.
I like Bloody Roar, so I'm not shitting on it.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. I mean, that's about as good of a description as any.
I like that. I like this. He told me it's a honey badger, which has been called the fiercest of all animals. Now he told me it's the. So this is basically Honey Badger Don't Give a Shit, the animated series.
I want to see the thing next. It's after the rain, is what it translates to.
Give myself the drop in this one.
Mission failed.
Yeah. Akira Tachibana is a soft-spoken high school student who used to be part of a track and field club, but due to an injury, she is no longer to run as fast as she could. Working part-time in family.
This one, okay.
Yeah, she had to fall in love with a manager, a divorced 45-year-old man with a young son.
Oh yeah, no.
When this comes out,
no one's gonna complain about this anime at all. Everyone's gonna be completely fine with this anime. Anyone having any problems with the premise of this anime about this 17-year-old going out with a 45-year-old? Nothing wrong with that at all.
And the next one,
see a firestorm on this anime. Next show.
Yeah, Kokoku. Let's see here. Looks like another NEAT related one, huh? Kidnapped for Ransom. Mel Gibson. No, I'm kidding. Nah, he was in a movie called Ransom. That's why I said that. Visually, it looks okay, but that doesn't really tell you a whole lot just from a still shot, though.
Oh yeah.
This in Linky Banza Underworld, second season of. I think that's one of those Chinese co-productions.
All these shows that I didn't realize the first season came out of.
Yeah, exactly.
The second season.
And then we have
Mirai no Kaikata.
What he said. Sorry. I had a lump in my throat here. Ugh. Okay. Looks pretty uninteresting, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
Looks relatively cute from the preview video, but again, I don't really know anything about it.
Mitsubishi Colors.
So, like
that I watched today, and I like it a lot. Mitsubishi Colors. Basically, think Strawberry Marshmallow meets Codename Kids Next Door.
What? That sounds amazing.
Although they don't do they don't have any actual technology or anything. It's not like that. It's all just them pretending. But it's still the similar thing where they're protecting the quote unquote town, but only after.
I'm skipping through this preview video. There's one scene where this girl has an RPG launcher.
Yes, I said that was it.
I'm gonna watch it just for that. Because see, here's how you do a preview video.
You showed the.
Now I need context for that RPG launcher because I don't know what's going
All right,
on.
I won't spoil it up for you. Then.
And this next one is Madchen.
Okay, thank you, because I would have butchered that pronunciation.
It seems to be a light novel. Kind of colorful. Nothing particularly. Something about.
I think that looks almost like the same style as God, I'm blanking on the name. The one about the succubus slowly.
Asarate's Toy.
That's it.
Okay. Again.
God, my brain just like die.
Second season.
Dude.
Well, no, first of all, we have a drop in for that. Give me a second. Yeah. Haven't used that one in a while.
Yeah, my mind just like did not want to
brain fart.
Yeah.
Next up, we got the second season of Nanatsu no Taizai, which is a show I didn't know existed.
Oh, I've seen that character before in the middle, but yeah.
We have the second season of Overlord, which is a show I do know exists.
I know Morthal is really into that, I believe.
So we watched the first couple episodes of this back when I had the anime club, and people really liked it. And I was working on stuff, so I didn't actually look up and watch very much of it. But the premise seems pretty interesting, and it's something I've been meaning to go back and watch because it seems like the kind of show that's like, okay, I should probably check this out. Just by premise alone.
You know what you shouldn't watch, and no one should watch?
Okay, here we go.
Pop Team Epic. Okay. All right.
Okay. Before you launch into Pop Team Epic, we're getting an update from the IRC. Strong Girl in the IRC. The English name of Nanatsu no Taizai is Seven Deadly Sins, so it is a show I knew about.
Netflix pimps that show a lot. Apparently. Okay,
so let's unpack on Pop Team Epic.
No, stop it, VZ. Yes, the manga, but this is specifically the anime. The anime is painful. Was the most painful thing I've seen. Okay, let me tell you. Okay, half of. So let's say for 11 minutes it does the show, and the girls are voiced by male voice actors. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then at that halfway mark, it plays the same episode again, but this time with female voices. And it also, the video was purposefully glitching. It was supposed to be glitchy.
This sounds kind of badly gimmicky.
That's the word. Gimmicky.
It's basically I troll face the anime. And I've heard the term thrown around, anti-comedy. I got a better one. I'm gonna use this to describe the show, and I want people to use it too. Anti-anime. This is not what anime is there for.
I'm not even gonna go that far. Because as far as the definition of anime goes, it's anime. It's just bad and gimmicky.
It's also like, again, if you think,
because I was watching a little bit of it during the break.
Yeah.
And it was it had a similar feeling to me. Your
Adult Swim.
Exactly. Your dime a dozen Adult Swim original programming.
Yeah, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, or
honestly, I wouldn't even compare it to Aqua Teen Hunger Force because Aqua Teen is on the high. Aqua Teen is on the
12 ounce mouse,
the higher tier of adult Adult Swim.
12-ounce mouse.
12-ounce mouse. Assy McGee.
Yeah,
Tim and Eric, awesome show, great job.
Yeah, it did pretty much. Was that when Tom Goes to the Mayor or something?
Tom Goes to the Mayor. That's the other one.
Yeah. It's basically specific. It's purposefully shitty. It's aesthetically meant to be shitty. Is the vibe?
Yeah, and yeah.
And we know what people like this type of show.
Oh yeah, and
I can tell exactly who you are by if you like it or not.
I'm not going to go that far with it, VZ, but it's very clear why a whole lot of people like this show. Well, a whole lot of people have that kind of ironic enjoyment thing going on. They enjoy self-aware quote unquote media where.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like
how valuable that is, but
yeah,
that's the whole conceit of Pop Team Epic, is at least as far as the anime. I haven't read the manga.
The next one we got on the list here is Ramen Daisuke Koizumi,
and I watched that last week, and I enjoyed that a lot too.
I've seen some like GIFs and screenshots of it, and like. Put it this way, just by the gifs and screenshots, I'm gonna check this show out.
The only complaint I have is that Koizumi, I know she's supposed to be a kudere like type of personality, like emotionless, or in this case it says cool beauty in the description. Right. But the way she came across, at least in the first episode, she came across as a little bit like a bitch.
Well, I'd love to stay in chat, but you're a bitch.
So the show should be called Miss Koizumi Loves Ramen Noodles, and is also a bitch.
Bitches and ramen.
Of course, since we're talking about Japanese media, the connotation of bitch in Japan is like the same as slut. So no, just bitch. Just soon without the dere. Going.
Ryoyu no Oshigoto.
Looks like
cute, but not particularly interesting.
Light novel. Yeah, nothing about this at all screams check it out to me.
Second season of Saki Kuso no, and we got isn't that a Greek letter?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's Sai or
Sai.
Yeah, because you see it on a lot of college campuses.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it's Psyche Kusio no Pitchfork not.
No. Sequel of a show I didn't know had an original.
Yeah.
So continuing, Sanrio Dainshi.
This is just an outright original. It looks like.
Yep, anime original.
So it's not a high school boy that loves the yellow pom-pom Purin dog. We've never seen a mascot like that before.
Okay, this looks like either a shoujo or josei art style.
Yeah.
Next thing is something I haven't seen, but I feel like I should at least check it out because it's at least aesthetically the type of robot thing I like, which is the watch this robot show to buy the fucking toys. Shikansen Henkai Robo Shinkalian.
Yes. What's this? I love how like for where it says the source, it says other.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because basically the other is just toys since it's toys.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I guess.
Next thing is something I watched yesterday. And
Slow start.
Yeah, and I That is
A1
cute.
Pictures.
Yeah, that is cute too. If you like, what's that publication? Carrara. You know what I mean? Carrara Time.
I might have heard of it, but it's not ringing a bell.
The stuff like Hinamari Sketch and all those like 4 to 5 girls and Moe Schoolgirl. That thing. Carrara Manga Time Carrara. That's it.
Yeah, so I was looking at on Twitter. I was looking at some clips from this first episode. It is animated beautifully.
Yes. Not the whole thing, but a lot of scenes, especially when you see the cousin. The really busty one. Yes, it's like it's that fluid. Animated. So at least check it out for the animation.
Seems like it might have some sort of a sort of whimsical quality to it.
Yeah.
But it does say slice of life comedy, so
yeah, definitely the A1 Pictures, the Aniplex money is there.
Oh yeah. The next we got Sora Yori Motoi Basho.
Madhouse.
Probably butchered that. This is about 4 girls going to the South Pole.
Yes. Where they're looking for Santa's antithesis.
Oh. I was gonna
Santa.
The Super Devil.
I was gonna say I was gonna make like an Evangelion joke. I was gonna make like an Evangelion joke there.
Looking for Adam.
Like, yeah.
This is the story of Second Impact.
There you go. Make that into the story of Second Impact. Young Misato. There you go. That's your fucking next Ava thing. Okay?
Is it just gonna be like an hour of her blowing Kaji?
Just her as instead of like 28, her when she's like 14 or something. Like the same age as the Ava pilots.
Have to be after they get done with Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, and who knows when that'll be.
Or if Anno just doesn't decide to scrap all of it and start over again.
I call Mulligan. Start over.
Next up is Toji no Miko.
Yeah. I like the swords. From what I can see from them. Talks about shrine maidens and sort of stuff.
Girls fight demons with special powers, which is what this looks like.
Yeah, and it says it is action. So,
yeah. Oh wow,
Definitely
I didn't know this
action
was
in this preview.
Oh, I didn't know this was airing this season. I thought it was a movie, but Violent Evergarden. No, it's a series. Wow.
And KyoAni is on the case.
I'll check it out at least for that.
Sitting on
Doesn't
the
look like the
production
most
committee.
Yeah. Check it out for that.
I'm sure it'll be just nice to look at, if nothing else.
Yeah.
It certainly looks pretty.
Yoshimune Pero, I don't care about that. Okay, next thing, Eurocamp. That I liked a lot too.
Cute girls go camping.
Yeah, I think you would like that too, Nobis. Oh, and yeah, the one character that looks like
that looks like the NTR Radio mascot.
Yes, Hino Watanabe. Nah, but it's actually pretty cute.
I'm actually looking at this at Violet Evergarden. God damn it, get out of there. Okay. Yeah, I'm just watching kind of the preview now.
It looks pretty. Like the show looks beautiful. It remains to be seen like how good it is, but KyoAni has a pretty reliable output.
Yeah.
They don't make bad anime there.
Yeah. This looks nice.
Well, the thing about KyoAni is even if something like they could take even an average or mediocre premise of something, but make it at least look gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
You know. Their first original thing. Put it this way: their first original thing that they ever did, was this thing from 2003 that called Munto.
Yep.
It was like a 45-minute OVA. The most like basic premise, like anime premise, where it's basically like the isekai thing where normal girls transported into fantasy land.
Yep.
And only she could. But looks really good for that time, and definitely shows KyoAni as if you're interested in like seeing where KyoAni came from, I recommend it on that front.
Yeah, right. Like I said, they don't make bad anime. They make bad anime at plenty of studios. None of them KyoAni.
Is anybody watching any of those Leftovers?
Let me
Not a single one, because I know the only show I was watching, and it's none of those shows.
No, and there's only one short. Oh no, should we read the shorts or?
That's probably not necessary. Just maybe point out something you might find.
All right, there's one I'm want to check out. Takunomi. 20-year-old Michiru at Amasuki moved to Tokyo due to a change of career. She decided to live in a woman-only share house, Stella House Haruno, with people of different ages, occupations. It's always fun when there's delicious alcohol and meal.
Okay, I think I heard of this one, and the way I heard about it is really annoying because people were going, "Oh, how refreshing! An anime where the stars a 20-year-old girl."
Well, because the like stereotype and like the notion is like most anime girls like high school characters.
That's
so
most
like,
characters in general.
My point is, it's really annoying to have, oh, how refreshing. Oh, it's an anime about a 20-year-old girl when there's really plenty of anime that has adults as the main characters, but they don't watch any of those anime either.
Okay.
Movies we can go through real quick if there's anything interesting. We had a Chunibyo Demo Koigashita movie.
Yeah, I actually read a thread on 4chan. Someone saw that. I guess they were like in Japan. And I heard, should I say? That basically nothing new is added.
Okay, cool.
Like, as far as like character development or anything.
There's
a Mazinger Z movie.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Is it even any new, or is it like just reused footage, or?
No. It's
looks like it's all new.
No, it's an all new thing. I've seen the trailer. It's actually, oh boy, because he thought it was like the TV series, like cut up. No. It's an all new thing.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, I hope not. That would be annoying.
No. It's an all new thing. Although it does have my pet peeve thing that for most modern mecha thing, and that Mazinger Z is is cel shaded CG in this. Which is weird because
if you're gonna continue with that hang up, you're gonna be really, really disappointed.
Well, the thing is, yeah. Well, here's why I'm hanging. Here's the why. I still want to say it. Don't get me wrong. The majority of Go Nagai based things have always been strictly 2D animation for the mecha stuff.
I get you, but this looks amazing.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now, actually.
Some
of these people are goofy as fuck, but
at the end they have this like shot of the Mazinger like flying around with missiles and shit. And
don't get me wrong, I still really want to see. I don't think I'm not.
So that might be pretty fun. I mean,
yeah, there actually is a what is it? There's a new Devilman thing that aired.
Yes, I heard people complaining about it already.
Yeah, it's like the art style is like kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like old school. Yeah. Oh wow.
Oh well.
You know.
But I mean,
I don't know. Can't handle the heat. Get out of the kitchen, I guess.
hang, you can't hang. Sorry.
I don't even think it was because of the old school style. I think it was because of the. Well, I'm not really sure, so I have to look.
I heard people complaining about the violence.
Yeah, that's actually what I was actually going to say.
And I'm like,
have you ever seen this before?
You were complaining about the violence in Devilman? Really?
Oh god!
You want to die on?
It's like, have you ever seen any of Go Nagai shit?
Dude, the OVA has Devilman ripping like the breasts off like a monster. It's like you don't get more.
You don't want to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. Trust me.
Yeah.
It'll be stupid.
Have these people ever watched the Violent Jack OVAs?
No.
Where the beginning of one episode, they're holding up a man. A biker gang is holding up a man, and they cut off the arms. With a chainsaw, by the way. Cut off the arms, cut off the legs, then right into the stomach. I
guarantee you these people haven't watched a whole lot of.
No.
First of all, a whole lot of Go Nagai stuff. At all.
There was also in one episode cannibalism. Yeah. It's basically
it happens.
If you want, basically it lives up to its name of violence.
In any case,
yeah,
kind of looking like a light season for me.
There's definitely some stuff I plan on checking out.
There's a lot for me this season, but
time will tell what I continue on.
Yeah, that's the way I feel.
I'll let someone else do the guinea pig this time.
Yeah, exactly. Slow Start is certainly gonna get a watch. I'll probably check out the Antarctica thing. Mitsubishi Colors sounds fun.
You would like Eurocamp well. And Ramen Daisuke. Yeah,
I'll probably check out Eurocamp. I'm definitely checking out Ramen Daisuke.
Yeah. No one check out Pop Team Epic.
And hell, I might check out.
Oh yeah. Oh, there's the Takagi-san. That's the other one.
Oh yeah, Takagi-san. I'm definitely checking that out as well.
And and Violent Evergarden. When does that air?
Violet Evergarden, I'm gonna have to wait on because I'm like, I don't know what it's about really. So
yeah, I completely forgot. Like, because KyoAni stuff, like KyoAni, they've been more like doing movies than TV series,
right?
But they tend to like do. It seems like one or two. No, when did Maid Dragon? That was last year. No, was that spring or winter? I don't remember. But that they only had one show last year, and so again, it's like they do a show and then a couple seasons of. But they have been doing a lot of movies.
Okay, so Drawing Girl's been posting comics from the Pop Team Epic manga in the IRC, and these are hilarious.
Yeah, the comics I don't mind. The comics.
Yeah, the show's structured. The structure and presentation of the show is just poor.
Yeah, it's fine as comic because
it's deliberately made in a way that's unappealing to me.
Yeah, it's the comic is about as long as it needs to tell the joke. Especially the one about the I don't know if she posted it. The one with the hamburger.
No, not that one.
Oh, the one. You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Hamburger. Oh, all right. The one who goes. Yeah. Drawn Girl's listening. Post a hamburger one. when she's and then she goes, motherfucker.
In any case, I think that'll probably wrap it up for today.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. That's the show. The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is ntrradio.net. Check out VZ stuff, vzmk2moemekigata.wordpress.com. Check out the Bakugaijin show and Otaku Midnight, because both of those are really good. Hit me up on Twitter at TAnubis. VZ up on Twitter at BZMK2. The show up on Twitter at NTR_radio. Check out yashike.moe. We're doing a new thing this year for the Amagami Challenge. We're basically putting up one article a week related in some way to the entire self-development ethos of the Amagami Challenge, so check that out as well. Hit up shinakiba.moe for all your half-naked anime girl figures. I am Tom Force Anubis.
I'm K-Gods.
And I'm VZ Mark II.
And even though we're no longer a niche every time we say it, this is NTR Radio.